What up, people? This is Playing in Traffic, and we are kicking it tonight with the fellas. We got some hot guests coming up in the next couple of weeks, so keep an eye out. Subscribe, hit the little bell on YouTube so you can get notified when we go live. And tonight we're going to be talking about car shows. You know what's going on in your neighborhood. So if you want to jump in the chat room and let us know if you got any car shows coming up, or if you're going to any car shows, or if you went to any car shows. Let us know what's happening and where the hot cars are.
We got a car show Saturday. Yeah. Third Saturday of every month, Plant City, Florida. Downtown Plant City. Right downtown. They have a car show all year long. Third Saturday of every single month.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's wild. They get like over 150 cars.
Yeah.
Yeah. People come in from all over and you park. They close off downtown. And you park there. They got the police, waving people through. It's awesome.
I tell you, these small car shows in towns are really important to the community because, well, for me, it's important because when I go to we have one here in Louisville. It's like the suburb of Youngstown. It's like the outskirt. And they have one every Monday night. And there's a lot of cars go down there. And you get to, really talk to people and, It brings the community together.
What about that one that 2 years ago when we came out? The one that, remember we met inside the restaurant? It was that
the Hot Rod Super Nats.
Do they normally have that once a week anyway?
No, that's once a year. But they didn't have it this year, last year either because of COVID. But this year they didn't even try.
Next weekend anyway, because if I remember, it was 4th of July weekend.
Yeah, they moved it up because they used to have it every year in June.
Oh.
And it always rained, so they moved it to July. But
well,
it is what it is. That COVID really threw a wrench in everything.
There's this restaurant. They do one every Monday night. Then there's another place every Wednesday. Then Thursday there's one near me, and then there's where the New England Patriots play. There's a Bass Pro Shop. They just had one every other Thursday. They had 2,000 cars.
Nice.
Normally it's about 1,500 cars. And then Friday nights is Elks Club that we have that's about 15 minutes from me. We have about 500 cars. And then there's this ice cream place they do Friday nights. They pull about 250. Almost every single night a week there's a local cruise night.
Yeah.
So, John, I'm actually in Carlisle right now at the hotel.
Cool.
For the Carlisle GM General Motors Nationals. It's tomorrow and Sunday. Tomorrow and Saturday, rather.
Yeah.
Looking really
I was gonna try to run over there, man, but I just got so much stuff, man.
I've been to Carlisle a couple times. It's a long ride from Long Island. I can imagine, like if I wanted to be stupid and go there from Florida.
Oh, geez. Crazy. Yeah, but how far are you from Old Town?
45 minutes.
Yeah. Was it Friday nights they do a thing or Saturday?
Yeah. Oh God, Old Town's crazy. There's stuff going on every week over there.
Hey, Ray.
Yeah. I'll definitely, when I get my car together, I'm definitely going over there. They have a huge group that hangs out every weekend, and then there's shows, and then there's a brand new Margaritaville, and they have car shows there. So that's cool. You can make believe you're Jimmy Buffett and get drunk and wrap up your $100,000 car.
Hey, Ray, you got the air conditioning on? You got a sweatshirt on?
I do.
Cold?
Yeah.
Really?
Outside.
Yeah, it's chilly outside.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it was when I woke up this morning, it was 52.
Yeah, it's 68 out there now, but it's got this overlying chill.
Yeah.
It's coming down, rain like you wouldn't believe, so bad the dog won't leave my side.
Really? Oh, poor puppy.
That's just because your wife's not there.
I know, right? Tell me.
Look at it. Brian gets let up into the kitchen.
Yeah, he's allowed in the kitchen tonight.
Yeah, I was going to mention something about that.
Yeah.
Yep. Actually, I would show you what the kitchen table looks like, but in case somehow, some way, somebody sees this on YouTube, or I don't want to get myself in trouble.
Yeah, right.
It's spotless. There's nothing on here.
Right. No transmissions, no carburetors.
No bills.
No, yeah, just
right.
Just the peanut butter and crackers that I had for dinner.
Got it. We're busting out the simple green as soon as we're done.
The crack attack.
Brian, you motivated me to take apart my old impact gun,
Oh yeah.
and it still don't work. I don't know what's wrong with it.
Did you take the veins apart and clean them up real good?
What
well-
model? I mean, what is it? Like a 231 Thunder gun, or was it?
No, it's a cheap Harbor. I think I got it at Harbor Freight. I don't know where I got it.
Central Pneumatics.
Yeah, see.
Lifetime warranty. Bring it back.
No, it's what is it?
I got a
can't think of-
CP gun for like 20 years. It still works perfect.
Yeah.
Couple
Yeah.
of drops of air.
I mean, it's not
Marvel
like
mystery air
it's not
oil
like
in
one
there.
of these. It's not
Yeah.
like one of these. It's all metal, right? It's all. Or is
Yeah,
it-
mine's all metal.
Yeah, I think mine's all metal. Yeah, but it's leaking air
Wow.
somewhere in the trigger.
It's funny. Brian must have like a stand right next to the table where he had that curtain.
Sounds like you
I just got myself in trouble.
It just blew. You don't
You got
need to move the
You got
camera.
newspapers down on the table though, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm leaking air out
As
of
you
the
can see,
trigger.
what I've been doing. These are all my little parts kits. I got 4 more tonight. I did 4 more.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's leaking air throughout the trigger. There's it depends on which one it is, but there's either a little O-ring or a plastic ball that goes in between. And over time, the plastic ball disintegrates, then you'll have air leaking, and you'll never know because the ball's gone. So if you don't know what's supposed to be in there, that's why it's not fixed.
well, I can't see any place to take it apart. Like I can take the top part of it apart, but where the trigger is, it's like no.
Is the trigger black and it like pivots back into the handle?
No, it's red, but it squeezes in.
It either has a pin in the bottom where it swings back,
Mhm.
or you gotta take the trigger valve. You gotta take the. Damn, I don't have one here. Got one downstairs, but you gotta take where where the air fitting fits. You unscrew that and pull it down, and then there's a rod that comes out across there.
Okay.
And that's how.
Now, where
it
do you
comes.
get the balls at?
Huh?
Where do I get the ball?
If they still have them, well, I ordered them through. Actually, there's a place in Ohio. What's that place called? I send them the ones I can't fix. That's where I send them to. I had to look for the address.
Okay.
All
let me
these
know.
air tools.
Yeah.
But while we're on the topic of ear tools, I have a Blue Point 3/8 ratchet,
Yeah.
and it started like not working. And I take the head of it and whack it against something hard. It would start working, and I let go of it, and squeeze again. So I ended up taking the thing all apart. It was all gunk and stuff. So I cleaned it all out, and I put it back together, and it's like it works, but it's like not as fast as it was. And it's like, did I crank it too tight?
Or hit it too hard.
You know how it's like reverse
hard.
thread on one side and regular thread on the other?
Yeah.
If I went too far in the one versus the other, would have like cut down air pressure or something?
No, probably what you've done is you've squeezed the head too much, or the head's too tight and it's dragging.
So just unscrew the whole thing and put it back together and don't go so tight.
Actually,
blue
when you-
Loctite on the screws.
or there's a gap where the head fits in. Did you take the anvil part, where you put the socket on? Did you take that out? Okay. But when it fits in there, there was a washer that went on the one side where you turn. And did you put that in the right way? Because it's curved one way, and then if it's curved the other, if you put it in backwards, it's too much pressure on it, and it won't spin fast.
Oh, that would bind it down and slow it down. I could take a pot again and try it.
Yeah,
What's that banging?
that's Lucy.
Oh,
Hi, Lucy.
Is that her tail hitting the leg?
Yeah. Easy.
sounds like a
I gotta grab
washing
my drink.
machine with an uneven load.
Have you been getting her to work with you, Brian?
Well, I would love to, but she is very she'll get very car sick or motion sick.
Okay.
Oh man.
And she, like I said, the times that we have to take her in a car,
Yeah.
like normally, either me or Brianna, we're like her person, so we have to literally kind of like hold her. I mean, she gets really, really, really sick or scared, I guess. However,
Wow.
But-
That's hard.
but yeah, she's upset because everybody's gone, and
Right.
drink. What the hell?
John's playing piano.
Hey, John Day, do you want to come in on the screen? I can send you the link if you'd like to jump on the screen with us. Mr. John Day from Canada.
Yeah.
From
Canadian
Canada.
oil.
So, Ray, what's good on your end of the world?
Oh, I've been contorting myself like Gumby under a dashboard for the last 3 days, and I'm finally done with it. Thank God.
Electrical?
No, taking a brake pedal out of a G body of all things. What a pain in the ass.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's not easy, and you literally have to go down head first. I tried every other position, and I got some conflicting information. We did a brake conversion on a Grand National. The car had the original electric boost system, and it failed. So I talked them into going for the regular conventional booster and master, which they got. Now, Power Master Brakes said what you need to do is drill a new hole for the pivot pin 1.5 inches lower than the original because of the way that the booster is configured. So getting everything in and then out again, just fighting. To get, I figured, let me use the original pin. I tell you, GM has got their shit together. At the end of the day, ground this thing flat. We're hitting it with a punch, hitting it with an air hammer. And we're pressing it. We finally got it out. Bent the brake pedal and had to bend it back. Oh yeah, that's how much force it took. And when I measured the little shaft that went through the pedal, it was mushroom shaped, so it was wider on the outside than the inside. They must have put this thing in hot, and then just let it cool. It was a press fit with no knurl, and this thing was in there forever. So I was starting to second guess and think maybe we should just make another pin. So today, after getting the brake pedal back in, then I see that the rod really wasn't lining up on that relocated pin as nice as they said it would. It was almost really lined up back to where the original was. So instead of taking this thing out again, which was all welded in place, I took a nice bolt, about a 1/2 inch bolt, and drilled a hole. I used the factory hole, put that in, welded it, dressed it, drilled a flat for the pin, and then it was just a matter of reinstalling that pedal, which it took a couple hours because you get in there, then you get a spasm, you got to get out your back spasm, your leg spasm. The brake pedal falls on your head a couple times. Didn't hurt the pedal, don't worry, it's okay. And then you got to get out and like take a rest. Getting that bolt in, it's so high up, you literally have to cut the top of the dash out to see it from outside. That's how high that is in the car. And there's no way to get your hands in there, which is the worst.
Well,
So you ended up back in the same hole?
No. Yeah, I did. For the pivot. Yeah, for the push rod. Yeah, after all was said and done.
When GM puts that stuff together, they stick the whole dash, pedals, and everything all in on one
First.
ship.
Oh yeah, no, I understand that.
It's crazy.
And even to get the bolt went in from the passenger side across. You couldn't put it in that way because you couldn't get up to get your hand because the wiring harnesses and the steering column. So I put it in from the opposite direction, but now I couldn't use my fingers to put the nut on. So I literally put the nut into a box end wrench and taped it. I taped over the end so it would hold the nut and stuck it up there. And then, I was able to turn the other side.
Oh,
So,
I used to have to do that all the time.
You get creative, don't you?
I mean, the first time I did that, the bolt went right in. It caught it, done. I said, "Oh, that was easy." So after taking it out and having to put it back today, I couldn't get that damn thing to catch. 1, 2, 3 times. Fine, all right, let me get out of here. Go, have a cup of coffee, and then you come back again, and it's like, okay, now you get it. It's amazing how it just doesn't work sometimes.
I had to do that forever building race cars. Take a piece of tape and use a box sense wrench, because we do on the windows. Those would be put into the car with 1032 screws, stainless steel 1032. So you got these tiny little nuts, and you can't get to the lip a lot of times. So you got to put the tape, put the nut in, and then go in there with the wrench, and then somebody on the outside puts the screw through and turns. That's a pain in the neck.
There's a guy at the other shop, and his thing is dum-dum. He uses that
Butyl rubber
on everything. On every screw, every nut, like you can tell what he worked on. It's got dum-dum on it to hold it in place. And it works. It does.
Yeah, whatever gets it done. Jason said he likes working on Grand Nationals. I got a buddy here local. He's in my car club. He has a Grand National with, I think it's 3,500 miles on it.
Wow.
This car is so clean. It has original everything. Even the antenna still works.
Oh my God.
I got a good one for you.
And the guy gave him all the paperwork and all the history of the car. It's worth some money, man.
This one's an original owner car, and it's got 43,000 on it. It shows some of it, but now the thing is that we had to order a separate vacuum block, a billet vacuum block that goes up on the air intake to pull the booster line from. And if that doesn't work right, if he has trouble with that, then we're gonna have to go to a vacuum pump. An external vacuum pump.
So, anybody happen to watch Barrett Jackson last weekend?
Yeah, I did.
Did you see the GNX?
Yeah, unbelievable.
250,000, 7.8 miles.
Really?
Less than 8 miles.
How do you get a car and not drive it?
Because people bought these cars knowing they were limited production. I mean, they were selling higher than they were with stickers back in the day. Yeah. And some people smart enough, they got the money, they put it away.
Yeah, but who knew?
The guy that I grew up with, his father bought the Trans Am. What is it, an Indy pace car Trans Am? I forget what year that was.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the turbo car.
Yeah, pretty sure it was like
89, I think 89. I think.
No, it was a second gen like this. I think it was like a 79 or something like that.
Oh, I think you're
one of those years. There was a pace car, and he bought the car. He knew the guy at the Pontiac dealership, did some finagling, got the car. They flatbedded the car. They didn't prep the car at all. The way the car came from wherever I think it came from Norwood, from Ohio, is where they were building the second gens. So it went from there off the assembly line to however they delivered it by train or whatever to the dealer by truck, and then it got loaded on a flatbed, and it got put in his garage and got put up on jack stands, and it sat there for like 20-something years.
Wow.
Never even took it around the block.
Yeah.
Left everything as is with the crayon marks all over it, the plastic on the seats and the steering wheel and the vinyl that they glue to the fenders so that you don't scratch it, all of that. I'm like, that's crazy. People do that. I can't. I'm not that kind of guy.
No way.
We had this one military guy when I was the dealer, and he would find stuff overseas and have it shipped directly to us at my dealership, and it would come in, and he'd say, "I'll be in on this date. This is what," and he'll come into the dealership, and we would unpack this car and either get it running. Well, I can't remember what he had bought, but it was 911. I don't know if it was early version, like a GT2 or something like that. But he didn't want us to touch anything on it. He just wanted us to set the stuff with the computer and get it so that it ran. But that thing went off into a shipping cargo. It was crazy.
Wow.
Even driven, never even take it out.
I can't see doing that.
He had gotten a first. It was Europe. It was a European 928. So I don't know what year this thing was. Something like they were 79. They were here in the States, but this was like 70. I don't know. It was an early model one, and it was like that. It was like a army tank gray color. It looked like a Panzer. It was just that black gray.
Mm-hmm.
Got it up. It was up in Alaska, in the frozen tundra. So he sends this thing down, and we go. I said, we really need to look this thing over. And he's like, no, we gotta get this thing started. And he hooks up the jumper cables in the back, and the whole interior goes poof.
No.
A mouse or something, a rat had gotten in, and the fuse board was underneath the wooden floor in the car. And then all the wires were just touching, and the whole harness up in smoke.
Oh,
wow.
That's terrible.
I know so I'll be for the next couple weeks. We want a classic 28.
So the question is tonight is, what would be the car that you put away in the garage if you bought one today, like a new car?
Well, this new Hellcat, the whatchamacallit one,
the Demon?
Yeah, the Demon, I think.
I would put away anything.
Yeah,
the only time I put it away is when I'm done beating on it.
Yeah.
I got a body shop.
I drove it in a pouring rainstorm the other day.
Yeah, I got a body shop over by the Chrysler dealership, and you should see all those Demons and Hellcats all lined up over there. Just all four corners are just rounded where they just bounce off of everything. It's kind of amazing.
That's too much car for the normal guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? These guys, these lawyers and doctors are like, oh, I'm going to go get one. And then
they don't know how to drive something like that.
Yeah. Never been in a sports car.
No. But it's so funny because next time I go, next Tuesday, I'll have to take a picture because they'll be like, just like, it's just, I guess the amazing part of it is all the different color, how bright they are. Because, you'll have, the bright green and the purple and the pink and, and all those colors, and they're all just smashed to hell.
It's like looking at actually on a guy on a tool truck, all the different colors.
Yeah, you're right.
Now, I wonder if they're totaling those cars or if their insurance companies are fixing them. You know what I mean? Because
the price tag is pretty high, so just bouncing off the stuff could repair.
Yeah.
We had one come in the shop, and it was that like sublime green.
Yeah,
the guy had all the monster decals on it, all the stuff, the tinted windows and stuff, and different rims, and some graphic down the door, some flaming skull, and he bounced off a few things too.
If they get loose on you.
I love watching those videos on YouTube.
The Corvette guys, Mustang guys, just anybody. All these guys coming out of the car show.
Right.
Everybody's got to show how much of a man they are.
And then total the car.
And it turns out they turn out to be like a bunch of kindergartners because they can't even handle 350 horsepower.
Well, they turn the traction control off because they want to be impressive. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's usually that's like the second time they've ever turned. The first time they turned it off, it scared the poop out of them.
Yep.
So they said, "Oh, I'll never do that again." But then they got a crowd around, and then they said, "Oh, I'm going to turn this off." And
I got a buddy up in Canada. My buddy Ray, his partner up in Canada has. He used to have a Porsche, all-wheel drive Porsche, 1,000 horse when he was done playing with it.
Woo-hoo.
And he said he came out of the club one night, and all his people were standing outside. So he turned the traction control off. So he takes off down the street. A cop passes him. Well, no, first he takes off down the street and loses it. And he hits like 4 or 5 cars. So he wrecks the car all the way around, right? So now he's facing. No, wait. No. Let me fix the story. He passes a cop speeding. So he took off, right? And he forgot the traction was off. Then he wrecked. And then he was facing back the other way. And then the cop passed him coming the other way and pulled him over. He's like, oh, no, my car's been wrecked for years. But he went through a whole bunch of stuff to keep his license, man. A lot of money. Canada don't play around. It's one of John Day's buddies, too.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Unreal.
Hey, Brian, I have a question for you because Lewis just said it. Is it Porsche or Porsche?
Don't ask him.
Porsche.
Porch.
Porsche.
Yeah.
Porch.
I usually half the time I get corrected, but I tell them it's
What I say it is. That's what I say.
it's the American way. It's kind of like how everybody says Jaguar, but Jaguar or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jaguar.
Yeah, because it was funny because it was one of my girls, when they were playing the commercial all the time on Jaguar, and they were saying that way. She goes, "Why is the guy saying it so funny?" So that's the way you're supposed to say it. Is
Yeah, we messed it up.
Here on local radio, I know in the last few months they were playing a commercial for Hyundai, but the girl was saying it Hyundai. I'm like,
Oh yeah.
that's pretty bad. You think that someone would listen and screen those things.
Unreal.
I know
Yeah.
not me for correctness. but I
They
do
have
stuff like
they
that.
got a lot of tech in their cars, but the
Yeah.
cars are junk.
Well, have you seen the new ones?
Yeah,
They've
Yeah,
gotten
it's
a lot
really
better.
cool.
They've
Yeah,
gotten a lot
man,
better.
They're getting a lot better.
Oh,
You
man,
might
we
wanna go
had,
take a look.
Hires some good engineers to come up with things, but
my
it's
daughter
still a
had
piece
one
of
brand
trash.
new off the lot. The thing was broken every other week.
Yeah.
Right.
What's
They're the
that
worst
one
cars
that
to put remote starters in if it's a push button ignition. Horrible.
they make one that is a high end
Yeah, yeah. Barb had one of them, and
The
it was
Genesis.
the
Genesis,
Genesis. And
How's that?
the guy talked her into it,
That's a nice
'cause
car.
it was a really nice car, and it had a lot of tech, and it was really comfortable and powerful. And after about a year and a half, everything started falling apart.
Really?
Oh,
The
wow.
weather stripping around on the roof, like where the doors close into, kept
Yeah.
falling out.
Huh.
Started
Wow.
getting squeaks and rattles, and we're talking about. She does a 3-year lease, and she maybe puts 12 to 14,000 miles total in 3 years.
Hmm.
And this car was coming apart at the seams after 5,000 miles.
Really?
Mm.
Yeah.
It's
Looked
China
real
or
good,
Korea
but,
or whatever it is.
Turned to crap.
Well, you learn something new
But,
every day.
that's like 12 years ago. So I don't know. I'm sure they've gotten better. Maybe they've
Yeah.
gotten worse. I don't know.
I know the new one looks pretty good. The
Yeah.
Genesis.
Well, she's stuck on Mercedes Benzes for the last, I guess, around 12 or 15 years.
Yeah.
So
Hard to go
that's
back.
it. No, it's it. She don't go back. She just goes to the same dealer every lease, and they just, here you go, give her a new one. Have a nice day.
That's kind of weird that usually
We're
if you're a Japanese car driver, it's very hard to go into a German and vice versa because things are just a tad different.
wow.
And, the way things work and the fundamentals of stuff are a little different. So
Yeah, well, her biggest complaint, and I guess it's a complaint that a lot of people make, believe it or not, unless you're going for a real high-end Benz, like 550 and up or something,
Mhm.
the technology is absolute shit.
Hmm.
She's had C-Class, she's had E's, E350s, C350s, C300s, and they're always 2 years behind. It's like getting an old Chevrolet.
Really?
Yeah, and it got a heads-up display that shows you a lot of nice stuff, but the center stack isn't touchscreen.
Yeah.
And when you put the driving instructions, the GPS in there, it wasn't until the last model that they actually had a screen that actually spun as you drove. So the cursor is always going uphill. In other words, straight ahead.
Mm-hmm.
You'd go on the map, and if you make a right and head south, all of a sudden the arrow's facing down. That's people look at GPS like the way you look at the app on your phone.
Yeah.
It's always pointing up, straight ahead. So when the thing says you're going to make a right turn, oh, okay, I'm coming up to the intersection. I'm going to make a right. But if you were heading south in the Mercedes, it would be pointing down and to the left.
I'll say this, John. I know in my Mazda,
That's a setting.
it was like that, right? And I had to go in and configure it to put north at the top all the time.
Yeah.
It wasn't an easy thing. It was kind of buried. I thought it should have been right up front how to do that.
Yeah.
But
Well, there's north was pointing up. But if you look like if you use it on your phone or in your truck, like in my truck,
It automatically. Yeah.
my forward direction is always pointing straight up.
Yes.
I had to tell
So
it
when
to do
it's
that.
so in other words, it's like you're in a helicopter looking down
Yeah.
at the vehicle. Well, with hers, it actually changed direction as she changed direction.
So the
Whereas-
screen keeps spinning instead of you moving with it.
Well, no, the cursor would just change direction on the screen. The screen wouldn't move.
Right. So it was
Yeah,
it was
right,
the
right.
wrong setting.
Right. On anything that's modern, the screen actually moves.
Yeah.
But there
following
was
someone
no
through a
setting to
maze.
change it. She actually went back to Mercedes Benz and they were like, "No, sorry, that's the way they are."
Wow.
That's fine because
Wow.
usually there's an arrow on the touchscreen, and you
Yeah.
touch the arrow and it changes either north or the direction you're moving.
Her
And it was- must
E350
have been
didn't even have a touch screen.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're always behind in terms of putting the technology in the normal
lower.
car. They're
Mhm.
always on the super high end ones. All the technology's there, So it was just weird. But this new one she's getting next week, they finally caught up and it's got everything's normal now. All the bells and whistles, touch screen, the whole 9 yards. The only thing it doesn't have, which I was telling Ray, it doesn't have a heads up display.
Right.
And the sales guy said, she's like, "Where's the heads up display, switch?" He goes, "Oh, no. They don't have it anymore." And she's like,
Really?
"What?" And he says, "Think about who the majority of Benz buyers are. Older white guys. They did a survey and
Mhm.
that heads up display seemed to bother them."
Oh,
Well,
And I'm like, "Well, why don't you just push the button and shut it off?"
right.
Right.
Mercedes felt, "Oh, we'll just save a ton of money and we're only going to put it in like the super high end ones, the 550s.
Yeah, we'll
and
charge more money for a
and the
car and
coupes
take it
and
out.
things like that." Yeah.
did you
She's
see
like,
the
"That's ridiculous."
Did you see the camera display on the Cadillacs?
No.
It's in the gauge, like it's
Oh,
a
how
camera.
cool.
Like the gauge is a screen of the street.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh, it's pretty sweet.
That's neat.
I think it has night vision and stuff where you could like see way further.
Oh yeah.
Hmm
I saw
Lewis.
a commercial for that new electric Cadillac.
All right.
I like the
Yeah.
way it's got LEDs all over the place, It's really cool. I guess they
Is
got to
that
give
the
you
one-
something.
Is that the one that had the grill?
Yeah, the grill is like
Grill
all
all
LED.
across.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
in
yeah.
between the grill openings are all the lights. So it depends.
Yeah. It's
Like
odd.
if you drive, like city driving, it's like only 4 or 5 are on, and then like night, if you're on the highway or whatever, high beams, it's like the whole grill lights up. It's really kind of weird, right? I
I
think
wonder what that's
Yep.
going to cost to replace.
Oh God! And then inside they show you when the girl gets in the car, there's like sweeping LEDs in the dashboard too. It's like they were like, "Oh, let's just load this thing up with LEDs. Maybe people will buy it."
Speaking of that, my daughter just bought, she got it in the mail. She goes, "Oh, you'd be proud of me." She bought these, it's a set of LEDs. She plugged them into the USB port on her TV that I mounted for her. And you can program them to do a bunch of things. But one of them is it'll be like intuitive. You're watching a horror movie, they'll dim down, they get real bright and follow the. I said, listen, we used to buy speaker things like that in the 70s, and it would like dance.
I had
through-
those.
Me too. I was like, Jen,
And
you're only,
Christmas lights inside.
Yep.
You're only 40 years behind.
That's it. Yeah, it
a
was-
long time ago.
I bought the nicest ones I bought at Lafayette
Yeah.
Radio over in Syosset.
That's probably where I got mine from. The Lafayette.
Yeah.
Elizabeth. Wow, look at
They
that.
were-
Look at that.
They were big
Wow.
walnut speaker cabinets,
Yes.
and then it had that plexiglass front,
It was a
and you had your
Fresnel-
choice. You had your choice of the frosted one or the one that was like little diamonds,
Right, the
Yep.
Fresnel.
and
yeah.
then the lights would light up, like a kind of like that,
right. Right.
inside, and they'd have like a cross in it, and they would flash.
Yep.
And you had your little input and your sensitivity level, and
Yep.
I had 2 huge ones on either side of my drum set.
Oh yeah.
I had a
Right.
really cool room. We had my house had more bedrooms than we used. It's a 6-bedroom house that I grew up in. So downstairs, I used one of the downstairs bedrooms basically as like my hangout. I had my drum set in there, and I painted the walls black and got black. My dad got black like shag carpet. Had that put down. I had we hung 4-foot fluorescent black lights. I had like
wow.
4 of those, 2 on this wall, 2 on that wall, and then I had all of those velvet blacklight
Right.
posters, Star Castle and the Mushroom and all of that trippy stuff. And then I had all my stereo equipment.
Yeah.
I'd sit down there and like just zone out to Pink Floyd.
Man, you were
In quadraphonic.
Yes, I had those quadraphonic headphones for a while.
I
They
figured you
were
would have.
big. The ear cups were huge. And then there was that station from Connecticut, WPLR,
Oh yeah.
used to
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
broadcast in quadraphonic sound.
Right.
And I had to go out and buy a special adapter in order to get that quad sound out of my stereo. And you plug the headphones into it. Those were some days.
They were.
Hey,
Oh,
Lewis.
There he is, Terry.
Mr.
So, Lewis, I might have
Terry.
another guy for you.
Who you thinking about?
You know Rick Fittimore?
You talking to me?
No, not
Oh,
you.
Rick Fenimore with the Mustang,
Yeah,
right?
Rick's bro.
Yeah.
So-
That yellow Mustang.
So he used to be. He's an ISCA judge. In
And
fact,
a
he judged-
bodybuilder.
What was that Chip Foose, the Imposter, the Impala?
I don't know.
A couple few years ago, that crazy Impala he did.
It was shortened. It was a 66, a 65 is shortened.
Something like
Yeah.
that. Anyway, he judged that. He's the chairman. He puts on the Boston World of Wheels,
Yeah.
car show, the Autorama. Plus, he's
Yeah.
got that crazy Mustang that he's
Yeah.
had forever and ever.
Is
he's
that
about
a 65 Mustang?
It's a 5 or 6.
Yeah, 65 or 66.
It's slammed to the
blown,
ground. It's got
canary yellow.
all bright, all yellow with
Yeah,
huge
yeah,
ass
yeah.
blowers sticking out. So anyway, I think he'd be a fun guy.
He is a fun guy.
Well, I've seen him. We used to do the
Yeah,
car
yeah.
show here, 4th of July weekend in Worcester, and he
Worcester. Do you have the sauce? The Worcester show?
What's this? What's this?
so
What's
he
the
used to come in.
sauce?
He'd come in and go rum, 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 and just make so much noise to the place, and everyone would know who he was. I mean, you should hear this car. So anyway,
Yeah.
I'm gonna hit him up and see if I'll send him a link to one of the shows or something.
Yeah, do that.
Okay.
Yeah, he's one of my
Sounds good.
Facebook friends. He's a nice guy.
Do you see all the pictures all the time? Him going?
Oh
to the gym?
yeah, all the time. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
he had
both
a
his
shoulder
shoulders done.
operation,
Yeah.
right? He was in a sling for a while. He couldn't move.
Hey, John, here's that dashboard in the Cadillac.
Yes, that's cool.
I didn't know what that was.
Yeah.
It's a
I'm
video.
trying to find a night vision one. The night vision is
The whole
Pretty
TV
slick.
screen.
What
Is,
about over to the left, bottom left?
Hey, Lewis, is that what you're thinking about doing?
no. I'm just
can we
liking
do
it.
that in the bus, the motorhome?
I'd like that.
No,
That'd be
you
cool
gotta-
to
you
take
gotta
that
take care
take
of
that
that.
dashboard and put it in a classic car.
Listen, I made some calls on it, but GM don't want to give up no parts, man. I had to connect, and
I'll swap,
they're like,
I'll
nope.
swap the brake pedal out for you.
Not unless
Yeah.
your name's Chip Foose, you ain't getting any parts out of them.
Yeah,
The only problem with that is everybody's going to be driving like this now, looking at that screen instead of looking up.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Parking lot the other day, and there was a younger girl. I don't know what kind of car, but it had a backup camera. And instead of just looking to see where she's going, she's looking at the center dash trying to drive.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Like, man, this is crazy.
Not good.
Yep.
So now they're going to be looking at this little screen instead of having the whole world there. They're going to be.
Idiots.
So I would only use it at night because the one that I seen, there was a video and you can see like real far the night vision. It made a big difference. Like you can see a lot of stuff. Yeah.
Hey Terry, I watched your video,
Which one?
the Hellcat one.
That was fun.
Oh yeah. Tell
I
me
don't
about
doubt that.
No, that was fun. That was fun.
it. I was.
Did they have an LS?
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, it did. That's what made it was fun.
I think that Charger, that is the baddest looking Charger ever.
Let me tell you something.
What
I
a
had that
phenomenal
car.
job. I saw that car at SEMA.
Yeah, it was at Magnaflow. That's when
Yep.
we saw. I met you. Yeah, where I met you and your wife.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, let me tell you something about that car. That car, I had it for 2 days. You know,
Really?
I had it one day, and then I came back, and he's like, take it out again, whatever. Lou is really a nice guy. I tell you what else. But I drove that car. You couldn't not get stopped. I'm at
Sure.
stoplights. People are rolling up on you. I'm driving past on highway. People are sticking their cameras out. You know, you know. It was
Yeah.
just that. I mean,
Because
one
to
guy was
them,
like,
they're seeing an old Charger.
but
They're not realizing, that it's sitting on a brand new platform
right.
and it's got way more horsepower than a Dodge Charger ever could dream of.
Right.
That thing lights them up at will. I mean, I'm at
Yeah. And
I
it
was at 50 miles an hour
sounds
when I touched it, and the wheels just
unbelievable.
broke loose. And it was a control broke loose. It wasn't
That's the supercharger makes some whine on that thing.
oh, you hear that thing?
Oh God,
God.
yeah.
Terry, I'll tell you how to get not noticed in that car.
Put it in the garage and leave it.
I was talking about it on my show on Sunday. I drive through Nassau, Suffolk County. Everybody's, thumbs up, waving, beeping the horn. People like it. Nice car. I went deep into Queens on Saturday. I went to the UD on Saturday. It's game on. Everybody cutting you off, want to get in front. They don't care how you're driving. They don't. And you know what? If you don't drive the same way, I'm like, look, dude, I got great insurance. Hit me. Another guy that paid the car, he'll fix it. They don't care. They just don't care.
But I tell you, that was
Yeah,
fun.
it was an amazing job to do that, to build that car like that.
And I tell you something else. He's trying to build 71 Cudas.
Oh yeah.
He's
I like those
He
cars.
says he's gonna stick with it, but he says that he wants to build 71 Cudas. So
I'm such a GM guy, but there's so many Mopars that if I had the money to just go out and start getting cars, I would.
and you know what?
One of my dream cars is either a Plymouth Superbird or a Dodge Daytona Charger.
I prefer the Super.
I almost bought one
I like
tonight
them
at
both.
Walmart.
I like the Superbird because it's got the Roadrunner on the wing.
The wing, yeah.
That's what
But
makes it
You can just
totally
buy a
cool.
Roadrunner, John.
Yeah, I know, right?
Hey, so everybody on Facebook and YouTube, this is the world's famous Coverman 66. So go check him out and subscribe and like and hit the bell so you can get notified when he go live.
Oh my goodness.
Almost world famous. What?
World famous, baby.
That's really Dodge messed up. They should have made the Charger like that.
That's what I even said in the video. They should
But
have made this is what,
A couple
when they
people
said
that
they
I
saw the
spoke
car-
to that are pretty well connected with Chrysler, it's like there was too many cars on the same platform.
Yeah.
It just wasn't going to happen. They needed a 4-door. And it turned out, look what the Dodge Charger is, man. There's almost every police car is a 4-door Dodge Charger.
I tell you what, out of all of them, if you gave me a Magnum with a blower, I like that station wagon.
I like that too. Yeah,
I
Me
like
too.
that wagon. Between the
They're bad.
300,
That was
Charger.
my number 2 choice when I was looking for another car. It was like an FJ or a Magnum.
yeah.
Now, the 4-door Charger, Lee that he's came on our show. He held the Super Nats here in Youngstown. He bought one, and it's the Hellcat, and it's a beast.
Yeah.
not that, the Hellcat is no. That's what this is. That's a Hellcat.
Mhm.
And you got to see, I was at his shop today because I'm doing my bumper for my 71 Chevelle. He got like 2 of them brand new. People just bought them brand new, and he's got them in line.
Yeah,
Nice.
You know, and I didn't
That
realize
was-
this place was like 5 minutes from my house.
that's great.
Wow.
That was a lot. That was a lot of work to come up with a Charger body that fits on a Challenger chassis. You know.
Carbon fiber.
Yeah.
And it's in carbon fiber. Jeez.
Carbon fiber.
Yeah.
I saw the molds.
It's unreal.
Now,
So-
and I don't usually beat on people's cars. I never do.
That's you
Like that?
doing all those donuts,
I'm afraid so.
huh?
I'm afraid so.
I'm afraid so.
I like the drone footage too, and
Well,
and
see, that's what
that
it was.
last scene with the overlay.
Yeah, what I did was I used to do this all the time, like in the Memorial Park. I used to do a Wilson because if you come out of the turn and you hit it real hard, it closes the loop, and then you go back and you start throttling out of it. It looks like a W. So I did a W inside of a W. If you see the aerial, and so a couple of my friends saw that. He said, "I saw that." I said, "It's been a long time, but I still got the foot."
There you
Hey.
go.
You got the touch.
But that's an awesome car, man. That was fun. I didn't want to give it back.
I wouldn't. I would have said if somebody stole it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, Lou, man, this is too much luxury. I'm gonna take
Oh,
the thing out for
see
another
that
couple
scene that he just showed there.
hours.
I noticed there was a car coming out of that intersection there,
Mm.
and I'm like, oh.
Oh, here it is.
He was screaming by, and I could see a car coming up to the intersection. And
Yeah.
I'm like, I hope that dude don't jump the intersection.
Nah, if he did, it would have been over.
I know, would have been.
Yeah. And there's your W. Oh,
So
man.
I get a friend of mine. He's got I think it's a 73 Challenger, but it looks like a 71. He got a wrecked Charger, Hellcat Charger 15. So he put the whole drivetrain, modified the dash, got the dash in the car, ABS brakes, all the
Nice.
sensors, the backup sensors. Some guy at a body shop up in Canada, he brought the car up there and put all the sensors in the bumper, the full electronics, computer, everything. He's got everything working.
That's cool.
It's got a couple of glitchy things, but the full ABS. I mean, imagine no, you can't make that work. He's got it all working.
Wow.
He's been on
Nice.
this car for like 3 years. It's so close. It's getting ready to go to the interior shop, and he's got a couple little things to figure out, power seats and stuff, and he's done. And I heard this thing run a couple weeks ago. Oh my God.
That's awesome.
That's cool.
It's crazy.
So what do you guys think about the color?
Love it.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
What color is it? I'm
Looks different
colorblind.
inside. I'll say that. Yeah.
It's a BMW color. I forget the name of it, but it's code 29, C29. It was a 1 year on the X5. I think it's 2017.
It's not
When's-
Tony Nancy yellow.
No, I fell in love with it when I saw it.
When's the
Got
LS
too many
going in it?
windows.
Huh?
When's
Got
the LS
too many
going in it?
windows to be Tony Nancy
There's
yellow.
already Ellis in the thing with a blower on it. This is-
It looks
it's
real.
down to
It's a super
670
nice
at the
color.
rear wheel.
That's going to come together nice when you put the trim on.
Well, see,
Yeah.
here's the thing. Slick, you remember Stitch by Slick? Slick?
Yeah.
He says to me, right, I was talking to him the other day, I was like, he goes, what are you going to do for an interior? I was like, well, I got a guy who's going to do the seats and all that, but the door panels, I was thinking about going TMI. And he says, Terry, if you put TMI panels on that door, we're done. We are done. So he said, send me
Really?
your panels and I'll take care of it. I'm like, okay. So I
Wow.
send him the panels and he's going to do something. I don't know what he's going to do. He says, you need some custom panels. I was like, have at it. You know,
Slick is blowing up, man. He ain't playing.
I told him, said, dude, I don't want to bother you. You're too busy. He goes, yo, send me those damn panels. And then for the bumper, finally, I still have the original bumper. I put driving lights in it, so I had like 4-inch tubes. I drilled holes in them, and I got the driving lights in them. And I made a beak. I removed the dash because with the Chevelle, the front dash from the license plate has like a pocket.
Mhm.
It's not smooth, so I smoothed it out and made it come to a beak. where
Yeah.
it looked continuous, so there's like no license plate pocket.
That's gonna look sweet.
You did that chip foose. Foose does that all the time.
Foose did that. Yep. So I
Copycat.
did this all at 612. 612 was like, yo, come and do it here. I was like, okay. And so he took care of that. And I'm gonna paint the bumper the color of the car, but
Yes.
I'm gonna leave the back bumper chrome.
Huh.
Really?
Interesting.
Yeah.
I
Going
think you
back
make it
to-
second thoughts on that one.
Going back to the 80s with the monochromatic, huh?
Yeah.
Reason being is because one, I like the chrome on the car, like on the windows and all that. I like that chrome. Secondly, if this was a 69 Camaro where you had a bumper that's limped in like this, that looks good painted, that's one thing. But what is the most iconic part of a 71, 72 Camaro, Chevelle?
The
It's
rear
that back
bumper.
bumper.
True.
It's those pod tail lights. And
Yeah.
to me, you got to think about it. Now, the back of the trunk goes down like that. So that's already got color. And then you're going to paint that big, huge bumper that's like this big.
It's too much the same color.
It's too much of the same color.
The chrome bumper pops.
Exactly. It's too much of the
But
same
the front,
color.
I know what you're saying, between the grill and the headlights, the painted bumper is going to be slick on that.
Yes. Yes. I think
And with
so.
those plates that you flushed in there, it's almost like it's like molded like it's a custom roll pan, but for the front.
It's going to look good.
Are you
It's gonna look
flushing in the bumper and kind of tightening it up to the
good.
body?
I'm going to move it in a little bit, and I'm getting rid of the bumper bolts.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm getting rid of bumper bolts on both.
Sure.
Actually,
Yeah, you can just stud them from the inside.
That's why I'm going to cut the head off. Actually, I got what's called new grade 8 bolts, so I'm going to
Yeah.
trim them off. And
Trim
just
them off,
tack 'em
weld
in.
it up,
Just
fill
weld
it
them
in, and then
Yeah.
now you got studs.
Now you
Painted
got
the neck to
exactly.
bolt them on, but you'll get it done.
But
Does
you
that
know what
got
happens?
blinkers
You can
in the
do
front
bottom
bumper
ones. I'll
too?
keep the bottom ones the way they are. But there's 6 bolts. There's 2 in the bottom and 4 on that you see. The
Right.
2 ones that you don't see, I don't care about those.
the front bumper have blinkers flushed in them too, or just the
No,
ones?
it's in the
Just about
extension. It's right
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. All right.
It's right here. Yeah, but it is a chrome bezel, along with the chrome bezel for the headlight and the grill.
Actually, some of Chevelle's have.
I'm like Ray now.
Yep.
Some of them had black headlight bezels.
Brian was doing that earlier.
Like
Oh,
the grill,
nice.
There's a chrome piece that go here,
Yeah.
go in the center,
Right.
and on the bottom, and then it comes on the end. And like I said, I like that chrome piece. I think that's going to look good with the bumpers, and I like the wheel trim. I got all that stuff. I'm putting it back on the car.
This
But like I
car
said-
originally had wheel trim on it. I may put it back.
Wow,
Yeah.
really? Not
But like I
a lot,
said, I
not
think
a lot
it's
of
too
fine
much.
did.
Yeah.
It's too much
Well,
of one color on that back bumper.
back on my when it was my original, my 70 had the wheel trim, and it had down at the top of the rocker panel. Went from wheel well to wheel well.
Okay.
Yeah, hold on a second. See?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm probably not going to put that rocker panel molding on because I absolutely hate it. But I'm probably going to put the ones back on the wheel wells just because it looks cool.
It does.
Let's see something.
Yeah,
Hey, Lewis,
They
is there
look
any way I can
weird
post
without
something
it.
up here?
It's just plain.
yeah.
I'm not sure.
I don't think you can do it.
I don't think I could do it.
What?
See, I don't know what you can see on the screen. I'm not sure.
Let me see something.
Well, there's a thing that says share screen, but mine has a cross through it. There's a little slot through it. I can't share anything.
But if
Yeah,
I,
do you see that?
But if I
You're
text it
not
to you,
allowed
Lewis,
to
you'll be able
share.
see it?
Yeah.
Let me text you something. I want to let you guys see what the bumper looks like. Hold on one sec.
All right.
Terry, can you still hear us?
Yeah.
So I'm going to be in Carlisle tomorrow and Saturday. So I guess they got a section of the show. It's supposed to be a big LS portion of the show.
Ooh,
at the
LS
GM
Fest.
Nationals.
The LS Fest. I didn't know about that.
Well, no, the GM Nationals, but they're doing part of the show. Like they got like Corvette thing going on, and then I guess they're doing something with LSs too. Some section of the show.
Yeah,
is gonna
I
be
think that was
all
probably a
LS
food
stuff.
court. That's where they're doing the liver and sardines.
They have to cater to those abnormal people.
I think they were doing this hoping you were going to show up, Terry, but
It's,
obviously
it's,
not.
it's GM's way of being politically correct to everyone.
This conversation's over.
It's just a better, it's just a better version of the Coyote. That's all.
An LS is nothing but a transgendered truck motor.
That's
So that's
awful.
where it started.
Golly.
Oh boy.
Boy, you kids are getting rough.
Rough,
ain't you?
rough around, rough
Some
around.
rainbow valve covers.
And we haven't even started on the short bus yet, Lewis. You better watch out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but he doesn't have a short bus though.
Good thing
He's got
a
the
long
mid-size bus.
I got a 40-footer, baby.
bus. Yeah.
Yeah, well, after you get done cutting it up.
Rough.
Oy.
Hey, Lewis, you got it?
Yeah.
You know, I used the picture of your bus on the post I made last week, just to kind of, illustrate what we talk about. And people were those internet trolls that are throwing these comments out. He can't do that. He's going to kill a structural integrity. Like, listen, dude, I don't care. It's like, listen, take it up a Lewis Lee. Leave me alone.
Wait.
It's not my freaking bus.
I didn't hear it because the video started. Can you say it again?
I said last week when I made the post and to talk about the show, and I used the picture of your bus.
Mhm.
People were messaging me, giving me all sorts of crap over it. Like, so saying about cutting the rivets and taking the roof, and they're like, no, you can't do that. You're going to kill structural stability, and you got to do this, you got to get bracing and this and that. It's like, listen, guys.
Listen,
Stop.
these guys got this stuff down to a science.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, man.
He's going to be raising the roof, and he's got to put pieces back in
Right.
in order to do that.
Yeah,
He's
I'm not
getting rid
using
of
duct tape.
Right, he's not losing any integrity.
No. Actually, I'm putting
I
in,
have no problem with it.
instead of 16 gauge, I'm putting in an eighth thick bar.
Dave,
Wow.
Yeah,
have you
that's
seen
heavy.
this?
It's the internet troll.
Yep. Let's see.
So we get different guys talking and whatnot.
Well, I've seen,
Yeah.
I've seen the show.
Let's see how to do this there.
I put a picture up once. I was using my inductor tool to loosen a U-joint in a rifle. And I had it laid up against this guy comes out from his drive shaft shop out in Suffolk. You can't do that. You can't.
Suffolk drive shaft?
Yeah, I think it's Suffolk drive shaft. Yeah. He was kind of playing for a while. You cut the drive shaft in the vise. Now it's shot. It's going to be it's out of balance. I went back to listen. It's not chucked in the vise. The jaws are just open enough so that the drive shaft will lay in it, so that I can work on it. It's not. The jaws aren't tight. It's like, God damn, man, just give it a break.
We got our
Brian,
new
Brian, give us
camo,
the way to each of us.
It's nice.
new camo air hammer.
It's nice.
Oh, yeah?
Nice.
Send
Hey,
me
Hey, can
to
I
test
demo it?
I'll take it to test it for you.
You
I
want
need
my
to
camo?
Louis, I sent you a picture of all the tools you need, all the bits you need to cut those rivets, man. Those things will.
Yeah. I went and bought some. I went and bought some from Home Depot yesterday.
Yeah.
That could
That'll
be a
do
good
it.
torture tool.
Right.
Oh yeah.
I just
Put it
used
on a
mine
fingernail.
Put the chisel end on it. You can peel somebody's scalp off with that.
Just
Did you get
last
that
year,
picture
I
from
finally-
Terry
I
Lewis?
bought the flat ended bit for brake rotors, so you could you get that stuck brake rotor.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Get them off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to get it on here. Oh,
Technology.
I know, right?
I gotta get back on the 67.
Get back on the 67.
Finish something.
That's the problem when you got too many things going at once.
Finish
need that
one
for
thing at a
promotion.
time. Get it done.
You gotta finish that
Trailblazer
one.
finished. Now we working on this one.
Yeah, you gotta finish that one for your promotion, man.
Get
Work
it
is
done.
never done.
No.
And they're never done. That's what I'm saying. They're never done.
Right.
I don't know if this is going to share, but let me see.
They may not ever be done, but you got to say, I'm finished.
That's
Because I got other things to do.
a good point.
Uh,
For me, when it's drivable, it's at that stage where now it can sit for any amount of time because I can still drive it, and the rest can get done later.
Yeah, I tell you, that's the only thing I wish I'd never done, man. Take that thing so I couldn't drive it.
Yeah.
Tell you.
I kind of stuck to that mantra for years. I made sure that, I was able to drive it and move it. And then now on the rebuild process, it was even more important. I did all the mechanicals first. Everybody does the body first, body and paint. That was the last thing to do. I did all the mechanicals first.
Yeah.
And it was drivable through the whole process. It was a rolling restoration, which was great.
Yeah, Terry, I can't get it up, bro.
That's all good. What do you think about the bumper?
Oh, I didn't even see it. Hold on, let me check it out.
Can you hold it up on the screen, Terry?
Well, I'm looking. I'm using my camera.
Oh, wait a minute. I'll do it on mine. It's looking pretty good, man. A little more duct tape, man. You'd be good.
Well, it's all welded in now. It's welded in now.
So I'm gonna give you guys another sneak preview.
Oh, what's going on
This
here?
how I'm gonna set it up.
Now let me go big.
So I'm gonna give you guys another sneak preview.
All right, bro.
So this is how I'm gonna set it up. Like I said, I have a little tab.
Oh,
right
that's
here
cool.
that holds this. Holds to the bracket. Check this out. This is all.
Check this out.
It's almost all welded in. I just gotta still do the top half, and then connect the dots. That's what I like to do. Check this out. Look at that.
Oh, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, it looks good.
Looks like an owl.
It's a good idea. I'm glad I thought of it.
Give those troopers a reason for you to write you another ticket.
Yeah.
Hey, what lights did you put in it?
Summit sells a 3 by 3, 3/4 and 3/4 inch driving lights.
You should get a hold of Mitch at Radiant Lights, man. He put you some custom stuff together.
Well, I don't want the lights that are light blue and green. I'm just like, give me some lights. What I'm going to do, though, I'm going to do the same thing what I do with the Trailblazer. I'm going to have a, what's it called, the LED with the switchback. Basically, so what happens, they'll be white up until the point where you use them as indicators, and then they turn yellow.
Yeah.
They flash. And then once once you take the indicators off, they go back white.
Yeah, you should call Mitch, man, and talk to him because he put it together like that. He did it on my bike. My lights on my side will do that. They're orange, and then when I hit the blinker, then they cut off and turn white, or vice versa.
Vice versa, yeah. Yeah, that's what I like. Like I said, I did my Trailblazer like that. It's called like a switchback. So I'm doing LEDs on all. I'm getting rid of HID, getting tired of like light warming up. I was going to put LEDs in there. Yeah.
Are you getting the RGB headlights that you could have every different color you can think of?
That's not me. I'm not that guy.
Come on.
I'm not that guy.
Get that little key fob, and when you pull into cruise night parking lot, you hit party. And the headlights dance around like a disco. Oh yeah.
Like
you gotta have that, man.
Nah, the hell with that, man.
Oh, dude, come on.
Hey guys, I'm
put that on
signing
your
off.
car. Yo, Chaz, you gonna do that on yours?
No,
You know what would be nice though is the
I am
color of your
using
car.
all LED lights though.
There you go. See, now we're the same page.
I'm gonna put LED light under the hood, to light up the engine compartment.
I
LED headlights, LED turn. See, I got separate turn signals on the bottom. So for me to do the switchback is like redundant. So I'm just gonna have headlights that have like a white halo. It's like daytime driving with LED, and I have the LED tail lights for this already that do the flash. They go from left to right and right to left.
Usually, you know what it is? I found out it's usually those Ford clowns that have that whole light show going on. Yeah. Usually those guys,
Now, I've been nice to you, Terry. Last night when you were on with the other dude, I was nice. I just said hi. I didn't even get
it's funny because as soon as it came out my mouth, I was like, he really didn't start. He didn't need this. He didn't want this.
Hey, it's so cool. Audi has it too.
I'm sorry, Ryan. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Well, you know what
that was me because I know you were thinking about something. So yeah, there we go.
You know what you got to get? You got to buy those little lights that stick underneath the bottom of the door.
Oh yeah.
My wife's Mercedes has it. When you open up the door, it puts a Mercedes-Benz emblem on the street.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And they sell them all. You can get a Chevy emblem, a Ford, script.
Terry having
Swear
it.
to God, man.
Well, since we've gone here, Terry needs to, when he opens the door, it says coyote.
Oh,
I'm gonna get the ones with the Pontiac Indian head.
Oh, the Indian, yeah.
That'd be cool.
not
Yeah,
politically
either that
correct.
or the arrow head.
Right.
This conversation's over.
Hey
Just
guys,
because I
I'm
think
going,
it's cool.
I'm going to bed, guys. I'll see you guys next week.
Have
Hey,
fun.
see you later, Scott.
Have fun
Take care, Scott.
walking the aisles.
Yeah, have
Yeah,
fun,
make-
buddy.
Send us
Hopefully,
pictures.
no rain.
Definitely.
Speaking
All right,
of which, I
I'll
gotta get
talk
home.
to you. Take care.
All right,
All right,
I gotta
bye.
get on out of here myself. Getting late.
lightweight.
Yeah, I know. I can't deal. I can't deal.
Yeah, I gotta jump off too, man. I'm with you. Hey Terry, give me a
Everyone-
call this week, man. We gotta catch up.
You know I will. I give everyone a call. But
Give everybody.
give everyone a call. Give Ray a call.
Yeah.
Give everyone. Give Sal a call.
Hey,
I'm not giving Chassis John a call. I'm sorry.
Hey Terry,
I won't lose no sleep.
I'm gonna get my hotel room for Nelson's.
Oh, so you are you driving that bus?
No, I'm gonna drive a car.
No, because you said you're gonna drive the bus. No, you said SEMA if you have a chance.
Yeah, if I get it done, I'll take it to see him.
All right. So,
Yep,
so
so-
you got your hotel room and everything?
No, I'm gonna book it maybe tomorrow.
All right, let me know because I want to. Like I said, I gotta get a plane ticket.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it ain't gonna cost too much.
Did you guys
they're
hear about the new resort that opened up on the Strip today?
No. Huh.
It's the most expensive casino hotel ever built.
Really?
In
Yeah,
Las
it opened
Vegas?
up today in Las Vegas on the Strip. Yeah. Forget what it's called. Something resort. Something. I think it's owned by Hilton.
Wow.
Yeah. It's unreal. Place is crazy. It's got like 2 waves, kind of like the wind,
Mhm.
and it's nuts. I wish I would have known it was going to open. I would have went and got a room there for SEMA instead of at the Venetian.
Yeah.
I like the
Look at
Venetian.
you,
The
Mr.
Venetian's awesome.
Look at him, Mister. I grew up with 6 rooms, and one of them was a black room with Pink Floyd fluorescent.
Hey, don't keep knocking Pink Floyd.
It was a
Oh,
spare.
wow.
There's a spare bedroom downstairs. There's 2 of them. I don't know.
Now he's
My old
talking
man-
about hanging out in some expensive hotel. Go to the circus.
Hey, that's what me and Terry gonna be.
My wife goes with me to Vegas, so there is why I stay where I stay. Because if I was just going hanging out with the guys, I'd stay at the Holiday Inn or the Motel 6.
There you go.
Kidding me?
Yeah.
Every year that I go to SEMA, it's by the time I'm done with hotel, airfare, rental car, food, gambling, and junk, it's a $5,000 to $6,000 bill.
Why do you rent a
ridiculous.
car?
Because I have to go places.
Oh, okay.
I got friends from the TV show with the aquarium deal,
Yeah.
and we go to dinner with other people that I know that live out there, and then go to shows. You know, oh, I want to go to this show, and that show is like, on the other end of the Strip. So
Gotcha.
I rent the car because I don't do that Uber junk. I don't want to hear about it.
Oh, damn.
Be my luck, I get into Uber and the dude's like an axe murderer or something.
Which is what he's thinking when you get in.
Yeah.
Who's this axe murderer I'm letting in my
Right?
car?
Wow.
Yeah, I do the Uber, man. It saved me a lot of money.
Yeah, it can, but she's like, I ain't waiting for that. Call the valet. Get the car. Julio, get the stretch.
I stay right in that vicinity.
You don't go too.
Kidding
No,
me?
you
The
rolling
first-
with us this year, Terry.
First couple times I went, I stay right at the convention center. Done. Go downstairs.
We're doing it this
You
year.
got the Blackheart bar, the hookah bar,
Mm-hmm.
and SEMA's right there. That's where the action's at, But
That's the what's the name of that hotel?
the what?
The one that
Hookah
that's
bar, I'm not familiar with that.
Oh yeah, you're an angel.
No. The convention center hotel used to be a Hilton.
yeah, that's where Elvis is.
Right,
is.
exactly. And downstairs, the main bar in the casino every year gets like taken over by hooker headers, so they call it the hooker bar.
So now I am
Yeah.
familiar with that then. Okay.
Yeah. You didn't notice every year on the floor they put these big giant hooker header signs leading you to the bar, and that's the hooker bar. There are hookers there, but it's the hooker bar for the weekend there, for the show. But that's where the action's at. A couple of years ago, before he passed away, I sat down and had drinks with Vic Edelbrock.
Yeah.
Oh,
I got to get Cammie on here. I'm friends with Cammie, so I'll get her on. She tells us the whole scoop. We went to lunch or somewhere, and she was telling us the whole story about what went on.
Yeah.
So we'll get her on.
Back in the 80s, when I was working at the speed shop, Edelbrock did a contest with American Specialty. That was the parent company of the speed shop I worked for. It was like a sales thing. Sell X amount of, Edelbrock manifolds, carburetors, all of that stuff. And you're in a pool to win a trip to the Winter Nationals and tickets and the whole 9 yards, And me and another guy that worked in another store, we wound up winning.
Wow.
And we got flown out to California, and we rented a car, and we literally drove to Edelbrock, and Vic took us on a tour. The foundry, where the stuff comes from the foundry, how they get rid of all of the flashing, and then they mill the ends and do the top where the carburetor goes. Showed us all the different stuff for the manifolds. Took us to their dyno building. They had like 4 or 5 dynamometers. Guys in there, dyno in different combinations. Chevy, Ford, Dodge, all of that. And then we were walking through. It's really weird. We're walking through this like storage room, and there was all these different motors that were like mule motors, right? And there was a motor that was under a blanket, like a kind of like a tarp, but a lot of it was exposed. And I looked at it immediately, and I'm like, that's a big block Chevy. And I lifted up the tarp, and it was a big block V6.
Oh, wow.
And Vic goes, "Oh, you can't see that." I'm like, "Oh, all right." Okay.
I think their facility was right off the 405, if I'm not.
Yeah, in El Segundo.
Because I remember driving from LA down to San Diego on a 405, and I spotted it. I'm like, hey, look, there's Edelbrock.
Yeah.
Chassis John was that kid at Willy Wonka that got kicked out.
Yeah.
Well, there were certain areas where he said, don't photograph this. There was some stuff going on, I was like, hey, totally cool. But we're walking through, like I said, this storage room, and I seen this big block. The front of it was, exposed. And when I lifted it up, it was only 6 cylinders. And I'm like, and he was like, oh. So I think it was like a Can-Am motor or something.
Wow.
Something that they were messing with back then.
That's like stumbling on Nunzi's half a 389.
Right.
4-cylinder that he built. Just cut the motor.
So it was very, it was really cool that he actually took us for that tour. And then we got like really, really good passes, media passes. So we were able to basically walk around everywhere. And the grandstand that we actually sat in was like the grandstand that the press and people in media could go hang out if they wanted to sit down and watch the races. It was an awesome time.
Yeah.
Well, I got some stories about the company, but I'm going to talk to her first. I don't want to say nothing I ain't supposed to.
Yeah. That's all good.
Yeah. But I'll try to get her on soon.
They moved the whole company, right, to Tennessee or something?
Well, another company bought them. Or Vic sold the company before he died.
Right.
And nobody knew.
Wasn't that with that whole Mr. Gasket thing, or the whole?
Yeah, it's a whole bunch of mess in it.
Yeah.
Yep. But I'll talk about it when I talk to Cammie. We'll get it out.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, I was just talking to the tech guys yesterday, and I found out like I knew more than the tech guy did. He absolutely did not help at all.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that's something.
Yeah.
All right, fellas. I'll catch you next week.
All right, Lewis.
Lewis, take care. Be safe.
All right, you
Easy,
too.
everyone.
Take care,
Bye,
Lewis.
guys. Rob
Unreal.
Leonard's calling me. What the hell does he want? Let me do a show on Sunday.
Who?
Rob Leonard, guy that does the show before me.
Oh,
Oh. Maybe he's
Yeah, I'm gonna
calling in
build-
sick.
I'm gonna build
Maybe you get
too.
2 hours.
It'd be 3.
Oh yeah. He's got a 2-hour show.
Yeah.
How come you don't have a 2-hour show?
Good question. I don't know. I've done his show before. We've done it a couple times. Me and
Man,
Chris
3
did-
hours. You can get a lot done in 3 hours.
Yeah. Except for one of those days we don't have anything to
when
talk
you got
about.
nothing.
We got looks like
And you and Chris talking to each other.
I get a call this morning. I'm watching Perry Mason. The phone goes off. It's Dan Short from Phantom Works. I'm
Wow.
like, all right, let me take this. Hey, Dan, what's going on? Hey, Ray. He goes, listen, the guy just hits the ground running. He's like, hey, listen. He goes, I don't know if apologies in order. Did I not close the loop on like, yeah, Dan, that's what happened. Like February, I was trying to get him on the show. He was busy. So back and forth, he dropped the ball. Then I got an email here from April where we were putting it together again. And then he just went cold. And I said, yeah. I said, listen, I know you ultimately have a lot more going on than I do. So I understand you're a busy guy. He goes, oh, you don't know how bad it is. He's got film crews down there. Everybody wants to interview him. Everybody comes to the shop, wants to see me. I'm managing all the guys. Him and his wife just started a farm. He goes in the chickens are eating the rabbits are eating the bunnies, the wolves are eating the chickens. He goes, everybody's eating everybody. He goes, it's a full-time job. So he's like, but I didn't forget about you, and I want to come on. I want to talk about all this stuff. He's got a whole litany of stuff. I'm like, all right, how about Sunday? We're open. He's like, oh, all right. He says, well, I go to church on Sunday. I'm like, yeah, I get that a lot. I said, but we could work it around if you can. He's been on the show before, so he did it. He goes, I'll tell you what. He goes, are you up at 10? I'm like, yeah. I'm up at 10. I'm up like 6:30. He's like, okay, well, some guys, sleep. I'm like, yeah, not me. He goes, give me a call at 10 and remind me. He goes, and I leave church between 12:15 sometimes. I'm like, Dan, no rush. You can call at the bottom of the hour, 12:30. It's like, take your time.
Yeah.
I'd like to have you on for longer, but you do what you can. So we'll see what happens.
That's
Dan's a really good guest.
He is. He's an excellent guest.
He's not doing the show anymore, though, right?
No, but he said something about he's got guys in there, film crews showing up. I don't know if they just want to show up and interview him and they're bringing cameramen. I don't know. He didn't say. But then he used this $12 word on me. It was like an 8-9 letter word to do with the economy. And the problem is how you can't get help because everybody's on unemployment. And then he should have been talking to you. I said, I was going to let me just call my buddy John. He'll talk to you because he went into this whole real pro-American anti-government rant.
My kind of pal.
Full plethora of all the words you can't use on the radio.
Yeah.
And he says, he goes, but I'm lucky. He goes, I do have a full shop. I did get guys. I said, well, they probably want to work for you because you take care of them, you pay them right, and you have a good business.
Sure.
And he's like 100 miles an hour, that guy. A lot going on.
All right, guys, take it easy.
All right, Jim.
See you later.
All right, take it easy. I got a tool cart that I'm trying to hunt down. I got a guy that wants one tomorrow, and one of my guys just texted me, says he's got one. I don't know if I want to run out there tonight and go pick it up for him. Tell you
Go
that.
for it. Make the sale.
Yeah, I know. It's been crazy.
Where would you have to go to pick it up?
I had to go out up to Glen Burnie. It's about a 45-minute ride out.
Oh, geez.
And
well, I found out that Guyanese guys, I guess, can't follow directions. Derek, he's asked me today about those sockets. Thank you for getting back to me on that. And I said, I'd go for the biggest set. It's like, the price is good. It's you got 7 to 15. Like, what the hell? So, I don't know. I have his ratchet.
yeah.
Maybe you can walk me through it. The head, the end of the ratchet is not flush. It's not sitting in flush. So the clip isn't holding. So I took it apart and I see those little buttons that go in there. Put those in, put the washer on top of it, slide it in, but I can't make it fit flush. It's like I feel
Squeeze that head.
I'm going on like squeeze
Like
on,
a zit.
Yeah. Well, when you take the head out, when you take the anvil out,
yeah.
and then there's two pieces, where it's opened up because the ratchet part goes back and forth.
I call it the pawl, right? That's
Yeah. You just want to squeeze that a little bit. I personally think what's happened is he's using the power of the battery to break the bolt loose, not breaking it loose first.
Actually, no, we did talk about that, and he'll put the tool on and just by hand loosen. And the same thing when he tightens, he'll run something in and then tighten. We did discuss that because Mike, the owner of the shop, brought his Milwaukee in. He actually lent it to Derek. And as soon as he handed it to him, let me see that. And I saw that end is flush with the body of the tool. This one doesn't go flush. I didn't want to go squeezing it in a vise or anything, and it's really just washer that's in there.
Yeah.
So the thing was, that's why I asked you about the Matco. And I tell you, those sockets, I was looking for those in the catalog. I couldn't find them. I'm looking under body tools, under car, under hood, under my ass. I'm looking under my everywhere. I couldn't find them.
Yeah.
Where the hell I'm looking under sockets, not even under sockets.
Yeah. The catalog is kind of you really got to look on the app. If you download the catalog on the app, it's even I hate using the app.
Yeah.
It's so much easier to find it. They made the paper so difficult.
So first he told me, he wanted the new ratchet. And I said, okay, I'm already thinking. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to get this one from him. And I'll pay for the repair. And then we'll just figure out how to fix it again. And that'll be mine. And then he was then he was shying away from it. And he was looking at some, what the hell was it? A Makita through Amazon. And it's the ratchet. To get the ratchet, the battery, $200 a bag. It was like $209 or something. I said, yeah, but you're going through Amazon. I said, listen, what do you think about that? I said, look, I don't know. I've never used the Makita battery tools. I don't know. I said, the Milwaukee is the standard. I said, the Matco stuff. I said, you're going to get support. I said, I don't know. You got to decide what you want to do. So. Yeah. At the end of the day, I'm leaving. I said, Derek, listen, am I ordering your sockets? What are we doing? He goes, I'm thinking about the ratchet still. I'm like, we're back on now. Okay, good. So I said, text me tonight. I said, 9:00, I go live with these guys. I'm going to be talking to Brian. Just send me a text and tell me. Nothing.
Yeah.
And he put my phone number. Like, he probably messed it up.
Well, it's like everything else, Ray. I sent off the impacts.
Okay.
The battery thing. I think I sent the claw thing. And I think there was one more thing I sent that we talked. And then of course I come home today.
The shirt. Yeah. Exactly. It figures, doesn't it figure?
I'm like, damn it.
I know. You can't win for losing.
And I was like, that's it. It drove. I was like, because I see the invoice. See, the problem is when I download, I see the invoice, so I know it's coming. It's just, like I said, when I get it. And, and I'm like, all right, well, I'll wait another day. It should be here, blah, blah, blah. And I said, man, I can't hold this stuff for, I send this stuff off. And then, of course, come in, and there's your shirt.
Right. It figures. Oh, by the way, I want to tell you, the Silver Eagle ratchet is nowhere near as nice as a Matco ratchet.
Oh, I know.
That I do not like that 1/4-inch ratchet. That's going to stay in the box.
Yeah.
It's just like chunky. It's like, it's not smooth. The Matco ratchets are very smooth.
And the funny part is that ratchet, the one that came in that box or that set, is 100 times better than their first ones.
Oh, geez.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. The first ones, I had to I must have had literally 10 to 15 of them in a shoebox on the truck. That's how much I was, warranting them all the time.
So what's
They don't get rebuilt; they just get replaced.
what's their reason for having such bad ratchets?
It's that Silver Eagle. It's just cost.
Okay.
It's just cost.
Right.
And like I said, a lot of my body shop guys, not body shop, but mostly body shop guys, they love that set because it comes in that box. It has everything there.
Right.
And usually by the third or fourth time, they end up putting a Mako ratchet in there.
First time I used it, I said, there ain't going to be a second time. Because the Mako ratchets are just so damn smooth.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
You know what? Well, put the shirt off to the side and find me a ratchet that's about the same size and put that with it, and I'll do that. I'll take that too.
Yeah.
Because you gotta have a tool you want to use it.
Because that box is really nice. I mean, like I said, I've got, I don't know. I used to have one in Jenny's truck, but I mean, it's like I carry those things in 3 or 4 different vehicles.
Right.
It's a great set because it has every ratchet you need, and the little bit set's really nice,
Yeah.
But like I said, if you don't want to try to, it's great if you just need a ratchet, but to use that ratchet is.
Oh, if you had nothing and you needed that and you had that, yeah, you could use it. Sure.
Yeah.
You just get spoiled by using the better stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's crazy. The Silver Eagle, that part of it, when we had our whole ratchet debacle, they tried to pass those ratchets off as Mako ratchets, and that they didn't put the Mako name on it. They put the ADVS line name on it, and man, what a mess! Those things were just terrible.
So speaking of terrible, did you get any more closure or information on your truck?
No, I messed with it a little bit last night, and I just can't get rid of the hard code that's in there. And they, the dealer told me, disconnect the battery, we'll get rid of the hard code, and then do a regen. And of course, it won't let me do a regen because it's got a hard code.
Right.
So, and my biggest I got to suck it up, I guess, and send it off to the dealer. It's just that I don't have anything close nearby, and the tow bill will be outrageous to have that thing towed out someplace. And I just I don't, like I said, not looking forward to that part.
Yeah. No.
I mean, and I guess if this was more towards like when we had the pandemic and had no traffic, I could drive down the road at 5 miles an hour, and nobody would ever pay attention to me.
Right.
Now that all the idiots are out loose and it's mayhem, there's no way.
Right.
It took me when I drove it home that way. Randolph Road, where I was, basically 7-mile stretch of a road, and the speed limit there is 45. And like I said, it took me over an hour and a half to travel that distance.
Wow.
And the one big intersection that I had to get through to get towards the house, I literally went through the intersection. I started on the green light, but at 5 miles an hour going through this big intersection, I was then in a red light, and cars were still trying to get around me that had the green light now,
Oh, wow.
And it was not, and then, like I said, they're not paying any attention. You figure that big of a truck, they'd see it, but so.
Oh, they saw you. They just.
Oh yeah. I was still
Come on, move that big thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell out of my way, you moron.
Yeah.
You stupid.
Yeah, I woke up this morning just to piss you off.
Right.
Right?
I went out of my way just to piss you off. I don't even know who you are, but I figured you're the guy.
Right. Oh, speaking of getting pissed off, after waiting on hold for 45 minutes to talk to an Edelbrock tech who knew less than me, that was bad enough. But today I called Petronics and I said, hey, I want to tell you about this issue I'm having with my car. It's a runnability thing, and maybe you guys could shed some light on it. Well, the guy says, dude, look, I know what you're saying. He says, me and my dad built a Duster with a stroke 360. It's like a 403 or whatever. He goes, and we got kind of the same issue. Like, we got about 10, 11 degrees of timing in it. He goes, and it just, it idles at what it idles at. He goes, I think you got to come to terms with it's going to just idle where it wants to idle based on your timing choice. I was like, yeah, but the freaking hydrocarbons are like out of this world. I said, I pulled the plugs and they're clean. They're not sooty, yet the richness, the power pistons are buried. So they're on the lean part of the rod, but you can't breathe. He didn't really have much to say. So I said, I'm this close from, like a Holly sniper. He goes, oh, no. You can't do that. Like, what do you mean I can't do that? Like, what are you, like a dynamo carburetor guy? You're a distributor guy. What do you care? So he says, no, you already told me that you got our billet Igniter 3 distributor. I'm like, yeah. He goes, that won't work with an EFI. I'm like, really? It's just a trigger. I said, so what do I got to do? Well, you got to use another one of our distributors. I said, so I can take my points distributor, put an Igniter 2 module in it, and it would work. He says, yeah. He says, or, you could get one of our Igniter 2 distributors. Of course, that's another, like, $400.
Oh, my God.
I said, what the hell is going on here? Like, he couldn't give me a reason why it wouldn't work, just that it won't. So, I said, well, what about an MSD distributor? He goes, yeah, that'll work. I'm like, I looked those up. They were like $400 too.
Yeah, none of them are cheap.
Yeah. So I didn't move forward yet. So, but had fun talking to the tech line guys.
I bet.
It's funny. Whenever you talk, I don't care who you talk to. If it's a refrigerator guy or, a distributor, is when you come at them with facts and data, and you know what you're talking about, you can like feel them go back and say like, whoa. Okay, I better listen to what this guy's saying because there may be a quiz later. Because I ask him, like, I'll quiz him back and forth. The guy will ask, I didn't really pin this guy to the wall because my dinner was ready, but like, I'll ask him, like, what do you mean by that? Explain that to me. I'm not getting that. And like, if you know it, then teach it to me. It's like I can learn, but it's interesting. So.
Yeah, it's crazy. I don't know. I was thinking about that. And
me too.
I'm
gonna go back out and I'm gonna verify top dead center. I've done this before. I had the distributor out last year to do some stuff, and and the car starts and runs. It's fine. So I'm gonna verify it again just to cover all the bases.
Yeah.
Actually, I talked to my engine builder, and he said, well, use a piston stop, find top dead center clockwise, then go backwards and find it again, and then split the difference. That's your real top dead center. I'm like, okay, I get that. I'll make it only off by a couple degrees. Every car in the world, guys, you kick a distributor in the air, let it fall in a hole, bolt it in, you're done. They run.
You're looking for possibly just a regular Holly Sniper EFI self-tuning.
Yeah.
Okay.
In black.
Oh yeah, that's the one I just pulled up.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'll go back out. I'll do that. I'll verify and see what's up. I went to a cruise night with my friend Kevin. He's got a 68 GTO convertible. And we're cruising, and I'm like, God damn, Kevin, this car is like so domesticated. It's quiet. It floats down the road. You stop. It's an automatic. So you stop, it just idles. I'm like, you don't even know it's running. I'm like, this car is like so, you could just like, you don't have to pay attention to it. You just drive it, He's like, well, what do you mean? I'm like, I don't know. I'm used to having cars you got to pay attention to them, you look out for the bumps. It's, I don't know.
Yeah.
Are you looking for a master kit?
Well, yeah, it would be the EFI with the fuel pump, the 2 filters, the fuel hose. What else they give you?
Yeah, that's the master kit.
Yeah, I think the other kit doesn't have the pump
Right.
because the regulator and the ECU are built into the throttle body. I mean,
Black.
online retail is around. I was seeing like around 1,300.
Hmm. For a master kit?
I know it was for
No.
one of them. I don't remember now. I've been looking at so much crap. I don't remember. I know 1,300 came up.
If you come up with a part number, let me know,
All right.
and then I can look it up.
All right. I'm actually thinking I was thinking about sticking a single 4-barrel back on there. I got a Holly 6210-3. It's a 650 spread bore, double pump, mechanical secondaries.
That's
I
what
was
I'm putting a Holly on this thing.
I was thinking about throwing that on there. You know,
Yeah,
just drop
I'm-
the intake. So
I'm not going to go through what I went through with the Camaro.
I was reading a lot of stuff this morning about hydrocarbons and NOx, you know, emissions and what causes what. And, you know, and they keep coming back to like vacuum leaks and timing and, you know, all sorts of stuff. So it's, you know, without a meter, though, you can't confirm any of it. You know, I don't have
No.
a sniffer. So,
Yeah. Well, that's when you're supposed to take the old propane, right? Take the
that's one way of doing it. Yeah.
you take the
You take the propane without lighting it,
Right.
yeah,
and then you'll hear a woo.
Yeah.
yeah.
You know, carburetor,
I
you know,
didn't think
what,
about that.
almost
Yeah.
anything works because it seals up the leak. I mean, I've done that in the past because when a couple of years ago, I put 1-inch wood spacers under the carbs to kind of help for heat. And the same thing, I checked those with with carb cleaner.
Sometimes with the carb cleaner or 2+2 or whatever you use, because when you spray it out, the vapors are lower. You know, like I said, down in the manifold below, so it will fill up the area and kind of lead you in the wrong. It can lead you in the wrong direction.
Yeah,
Or you're spraying up over here, but the vapors run down, and that's where it is. And of course, you're here. You think you got a problem.
Cat's back, John.
Yeah. So's the dog.
Oh,
He's sleeping. I got the door open so they can go in and out, but Mr.
So-
Bear has decided he's going to sleep here till I'm done.
okay.
Yeah, I got Lucy's she's laying on my foot, make sure I can't move. Make sure I don't go anywhere.
Yeah.
And Golden Riley's out chasing rabbits in the backyard.
There you go.
Yeah. He's gotten, I think we're up to 7 so far this year. So
Oh, really?
yeah. Yeah, cool. It ain't cool when he walks in the door with it and runs over, jumps up on the couch and throws it down and starts chewing on it.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Blood and guts everywhere, huh?
yeah.
All right. Papa Squirrel's cutting out.
Cutting out. Take it easy.
Take care.
They, we had a Westie Terrier, Max, and he'd catch everything. I mean, the dog caught a deer in the back. He had a deer pinned in the backyard up against
Wow. That's impressive.
Yeah, this dog, he would get out and go down to the horse farm and chase the horses around,
Yeah.
And of course, he would, whatever crap there was, if it was horse shit, he'd roll in it and then go play with the horses. You know what I'm saying? Or, he'd find, whatever animal crap there was, that's what he would roll around in. And of course, that's what he's hunting, because he would have those scent,
Right.
But, one morning before school, this was years ago, but me and Molly are sitting on the couch and Max runs over, jumps up between us. And I could tell he had something in his mouth, but I wasn't quite sure, And I said, "What do you got?" And he spits out a mouse.
Oh,
It lands on my leg, and Molly lost it. She's like, "You got to be kidding me!" And I was like, "That's what he does. He hunts, caught a mouse, and brought it to us." But
Molly, boil some water, quick.
yeah. So
Ooh,
he'd go out, and we have a couple horse farms, so we have a lot of black snakes and corn snakes that will be around. And he was out in the backyard swinging this. It looked like a stick, swinging this thing around. And the girls go, "Oh, look, he's out there playing with the stick. We should go play." And I said, "That's a snake." And they were like, "No, it's not." They get about halfway through the yard, and he'd throw it, and they would see the snake. They're like, "Snake!" And they all run back into the house. But it was really interesting because when he would bite the back of the neck of the snake, it would break the jaw.
oh,
Snake would still be alive, but it would lock its mouth like this.
oh, wow.
Wow.
So, like, this is the mouth, and when he did it, it would break like this. So the snake couldn't bite him. And he would just sit there and play with the snake. And then when he get done with it, he'd go over to the fence or the shed, and he'd smack it against the side of it 3 or 4 times and kill it.
Oh, God.
And then
God.
and then bring it over and
Wild.
yeah. And
Go. Get my sharp knife. We're having sushi.
yeah, well, he was funny because one day I called him in, and he gives me this dirty look. But the dog's like, "Don't mess with me." I'm like, "What the hell is this dog doing?" So I pulled up a chair and sat down in the downstairs, and I'm watching him through the sliding glass window. He was catching birds,
Oh, wow.
and he would lay out there in the yard and perfectly still, and he would wait, and a bird would land, and he would spring up, and when the bird tried to take off, he'd smack it with the paw, put the bird in the mouth, and snap the neck.
Wow.
God.
I caught like 4 of them, and I was like, "Holy crap!" I mean, it was amazing watching that dog. That dog was a smart dog.
Yeah.
That little guy was.
We had a cat years ago, and every year we get crickets in the basement, the big black ones. And I guess at night the cat would come down and grab one. Just the same cat, she'd go outside and catch a cicada. It'll be in her mouth with the wings flapping. She just have her teeth and walk around with this freaking cicada.
I hate those
Freaked my
bugs.
wife out. So anyway, she'd bring up a cricket at night because I'd find him in the morning dead with 3 legs. And then I figured it out. She's stomping on the leg. The cricket jumps, rips its own leg out, and now it jumps in circles, and the cat plays with it. And probably finally just bites it and kills it. Like, jeez. Pretty bizarre. Ugh. So you guys will be getting back to regular family life soon, huh?
Saturday.
I got 1 more week.
Another week. Wow.
Yeah,
Oh wow, good for you.
yeah. So hopefully I can get the truck started, and I got one other little small project I want to do since nobody's going to be around. But I have to I really got to get my truck back on the road. It's been been a pain in the ass.
Well, yeah, that's how you make your living. You need that thing.
Yeah. So
Yeah, you got to get that going, man. My plan for this thing is tomorrow. I got to make a fixture so I can put together the wishbone locator.
Oh, yeah, for the rear.
Pretty simple fixture, just 3 points. I already have all my dimensions. I started notching one of the arms. Get that together. Get those billet pieces mounted on a cross member. Get the cross member in place, tack welded in, and shocks, upper shock mounts. And that way I can run the suspension up and down.
Yeah.
Make sure that the wishbone is where I want it to be, because by changing the height of the wishbone at the front mount at the Y, you can get it so that the slider moves a smaller amount.
Right.
If you're at the wrong angle, that slider's going to come in and come out as the suspension moves. You want to kind of actually what you want to do is you want to be somewhere in the sweet spot that's sort of mirroring your upper bars.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that way everything kind of pivots
Together,
the same way. So yeah, the front pivot point is going to be basically where all of those upper holes are on the forelink.
Yeah.
So it's all in the same plane.
Right.
You know,
Makes sense.
and do the upper shock cross member and get that in, and then I'm ready to put the back braces on the housing, cut it, put the jig bar through it, get the housing ends welded on, order the axles and the brakes, and then I got to finish the chassis work coming back from that crossbar. I got to come back down into the trunk area, and I got to either order or build a fuel cell.
Oh.
Yeah, I've actually found a couple of nice aluminum ones.
Uh-huh.
I got to decide if I want a standard aluminum one or if I want one that's like black anodized or black powder coated, actually. And then I got to make a mount for that, put that in. So I got stuff to do. I got battery mounts. I got really, really nice billet aluminum battery mounts for the what are those, Odyssey batteries?
Optimus, yeah.
Optimums, yeah.
I've seen those. Those are really sharp mounts. Yeah, those are nice.
Yeah, so I have to make the supports for that.
Right.
I got to do these charging posts.
Right.
I got a lot of stuff to do.
That's what kind of drives me nuts. Like today, I'm watching Derek. He's a great body man, and he's welding, and he was complaining that the screen of the helmet is going. So maybe the battery's bad, you know. I'd like, so I look and some of the cheaper helmets, you got to take the whole screen out to get the battery.
Yeah.
He got his from a Snap-on guy, and the battery is mounted inside the helmet. So I look, and the whole battery itself, the holder was loose. So I just took it out. Big button battery, man. This is a big honking battery.
Like the ones you put in a computer.
Yeah. I just slid it back in, clicked it, and gave it. And he was like, "Hey, it's working. I'm like, "Yeah." So,
Ray, isn't it completely amazing? These guys cannot, take something like that and look and just fix about.
The guy can fix any car in the world.
Right. Can't fix his helmet.
But I'll tell you, it gets better than that, because then he was talking about that. I said, what do you have this thing set at? What do you mean? I'm like, well, the dial's on the side. So I said, you got it, the intensity. And how is it written? It's written fast and slow, I guess.
Yeah.
He says, what does that mean? Fast, slow. I'm like, it's the sensitivity. I said, fast means fast. It'll react faster. Slow, it'll react slower. Oh, where should I put this?
But some of the welding helmets, that fast slow is for the speed that the helmet goes from tinted back to clear.
Okay.
Right. Afterwards.
Okay.
Right.
The back end of it.
So you don't want to keep that on as fast as possible, because if you're welding something and you block the sensor, all of a sudden you get flash burn.
Well, I told, listen, always start in the middle and you figure out from there. But the other one is the actual shade. I said, that's the tint. I said, depending on what you're welding, what kind of welding you're doing, you need a different shade. And I thought it would be nice inside the helmet if they gave you like a legend, but they don't. I said,
you could look that stuff up pretty easily. But mine has a switch. So you can set the shade for grinding and set the shade for welding.
He's got that inside. That was inside the helmet, yeah. But it's like, how long have you had this helmet? Oh, about like 5 years. I'm like, and you never learned how to use the thing.
I'm buying a new helmet from Miller.
Yeah.
Because they have this technology now where, go back to old school. It was typically a green lens.
Yeah.
So your weld puddle was kind of like yellowish looking.
Yes.
Well, the way things are today, they've been able to come up with other stuff. Miller's got what they call true view.
Mm-hmm.
And it literally looks like you're looking through a clear window.
Nice.
Yeah. And they're not super expensive. Like 275, 300 for a really, really nice hood with all of the, stuff on it and real
speaking
cool.
of that,
And it's the kind with the big wide lens.
yeah, I saw something the other day on TV. You know what? Everybody does solar panels on the roof. This, and it was just a quick commercial, so I didn't get to see who it was. But they took like shingles, roofing shingles, and there were little solar cells in the shingles. So the whole roof didn't have these giant panels. You can see that there were like these little stripes all over the roof. I'm like, that is really. Now, if they found a way to get more of the same voltage out of it, that's
expensive.
When we put the solar panels on our house, right? It was we had like 2 snowstorms back to back, so we got shifted, later.
Yeah.
And it was funny because when the guys came to do it, I was out talking to him, and he's like, "Man, you lucked out." And I said, "Why?" He goes, "Well, we got the newer version, and it has more cells or more grids in." And he said, that's the problem with that stuff now. The technology of it's so fast moving that what we had 6 months ago, it's like a computer or anything else. It's obsolete because they moved on. And he's like, "Oh yeah, you'll get like," I don't know what it was. It didn't sound like a lot to me, but he was all excited because it was like 4% more charging per panel than anything else, than the old ones or whatever. So I guess that's a lot for, I don't know what the thing is, but
it adds up.
See,
I get those guys calling me all the time wanting to do it. And I'm like, call me in 10 years. Huh?
Yeah.
I go, call me in 10 years when you guys finally figure out how to make it work the right way.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
I hear over like early in the spring, and 2 guys, and they want to sell me windows and doors and siding and solar. And I said, listen, it's all in good shape. It's all less. I said, you know what the next thing I'm going to do to this house is? He's like, no, what? I'm like, sell it. I said, because I'm retiring and I'm getting the hell out of here. I said, that's what I'm doing to it. I said, so you want to come buy it? It's yours. I said, I'm not changing a thing.
Oh, man.
Right?
Unreal.
Funny. So I'll play with this thing tomorrow. I was playing with it today. I was like, it just pisses me off. I can't get it that last 16th of an inch. It's just above the body, just like a fingernail width.
It's weird.
Yeah, and because of that, the ring doesn't hold.
That thing must have spread because I squeezed it a little bit.
Now, what were you squeezing? The actual,
like when you take the head out, because that paw or the piece, because you have the gears and stuff going inside, and there's a body piece that fits in. You just squeeze the 2 ends together. I wish I had one here to show you.
That's the piece that moves when you turn the directional thing. When you move the direction lever.
Well, yeah, but that top piece is split, right?
The top piece. Oh, the body? You saying?
No, well, where the anvil's coming out, where you put the socket on.
Yeah. It ain't coming out now. Oh, there we go. Now it came out. Oh, the whole thing just fell out. Now it fell out.
Yeah, now, okay, right there. Stop. Bring it back up so I can see it. Okay, no, the body. Okay, see those 2 pieces? The 2 ends, if you squeeze them together.
Oh, these 2. Yeah. This way.
Yeah. You just got to, I tweaked it.
By hand, that's for sure.
No, you can't. You're going to have to, a pair of pliers or put it in a vise, and you're going to have, because that will tighten it up.
That will tighten it up. You're right.
And that keeps it. And the only problem is you don't want to pinch it. Now,
right. You don't want it too tight.
Right.
I got you.
That That's why it skips, because that thing spreads apart and then the thing spins in there.
Okay. All right. So yeah, tomorrow I'll play with it in the morning.
The 10-ton
Yeah.
press would be perfect.
Yeah, I'll put that to the press.
Easy.
Well, you got to see what we were doing to that freaking brake pedal to get that pin out, man. GM really, we're looking. There's like a washer built on one side, and the other side had like a washer cap. Like, all right, well, we ground the one end off.
Oh, you're talking about the stud in the pedal that the
Yeah.
arm for the master cylinder
Yeah.
goes on?
Yeah.
What? Oh, you had to move that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I want
yeah.
to take the original one out.
That's weird because when I did it with the Firebird, when I went from with the other car, when I went from power to manual,
Yeah.
and I had spoken to Willwood, and the guy's like, "Yeah, you already got a hole up there."
Right.
He goes, "You got to move the pin."
Right.
He says, "Or put a bolt in there."
Probably like
And
on the
And
Firebird.
I hit it with a hammer, and it came right out.
My Pontiac, the pin is removable, so it just goes through the clevis. It goes through everything. But this one is actually part of the pedal. And like I said, once I
Right.
took it out, I measured the end that was in the pedal, and it was kind of mushroomed. It was a little V'd to the outside, so it was smaller at the base, and then it got larger by about almost 100 thousandths. I was like, this freaking thing was a real press tapered fit. Like they really
Wow.
went out of their way.
Hmm.
But we backwards engineered that one pretty good.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, like I said, hitting it with a hammer, and a punch, and a chisel. Then we're using the air gun. That didn't work. And finally, we got it on top of a socket. We're using a sledge and actually bent the end of the brake pedal. We had to bend it back.
God.
Oh yeah. I'm like, that's nice.
It's crazy.
Oh, you woke up, huh? You
Yeah.
have a good nap, buddy?
Nutty is right.
Yeah. We're sleeping.
So I guess I'll have to see if I can see Derek tomorrow. I'll find out what the hell's on this guy's mind. I don't know.
Yeah, like I said, that 9-piece set's new. That just came out.
Well, that gives you 4 more sockets than the other one.
Yeah.
It gave you
Yeah, it's normally like $230 for that set.
it gave you 7. I know 7 is
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15.
Yeah, I'm trying to think the 4 that it gives you. I know 7, 13, and 15 aren't in the other one. There's one more. 8 and 9.
9.
Yeah, so it's 7, 9, 13, and 15.
Yeah.
So when he goes, a quarter inch. I'm like, yeah, it's quarter inch. I'm like, what are you doing with this stuff? You're not taking chassis bolts out with it.
No, they were. That's what we were talking when John 2 weeks ago or whatever, when I was on the tool truck. Remember, John was talking about his guy took a socket, 2 8mm sockets, cut them and weld them together.
Yeah.
I carry the only ones I carry on the truck are 8 and 10s are the. But on the German cars, they have like a double wall panel for like removing tail light housings or going through the door to do the window regulators. It's a double panel. And the problem is if you use like a quarter inch, like a short with a extension, half the time when you try to move it out, the socket falls off down in the door, and
this is what made him ask. He could have used one today. He was putting a Jeep back together, a Grand Cherokee, and he had I think the washer bottle or the overflow bottle had to come out to get something with the air bottle. It was a stupid design. It had a long stud, and then the bottom of the stud was actually long, but he needed a long socket to get over the stud. Because it had to be at least 2 inches of thread showing. And I'm like, wow. He goes, this is a stupid design. He goes, I need a socket. That's what I said. Well, let me ask Brian. I said, what we got?
Yeah.
He has one. He has an 8 that he uses for some stuff, or is it 10? I don't know.
Yeah.
But that was
we do have extra long. They're in their impact. They're a ½ inch extra long, and they're good for when you're doing gas tank straps and emergency brake cables. When you adjust your slack, and they're like shit. I don't know. They're about that long, 5 inches, 6 inches.
Right.
half-inch.
How many times have you had it where you had a deep socket and you had to put it over a, like a gas tank strap stud or whatever, and it would fit, except the inside of the socket was neck down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch. Give me the drill.
Yeah.
I've been there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just that's why if you're ever on eBay, look up Mako Tools Special Forces.
I'll make a note.
It was a ratchet with a hole in the center with the socket. The socket slid
right.
side. And if you can find them, they're worth its gold. I mean, I wish they'd make them. KD Gear Wrench makes something very similar.
Yes.
With the Mako ratchet system, it's so much nicer.
Gear Wrench and I think Sears. I think I saw something like that in Sears a few years ago when we had it was open and had a tool department. Yeah.
Yeah, there was Apex made them. That was owned. The people that owned Mako used to own Apex, which owned Gear Wrench. And when Gear Wrench was playing around with starting their own tool trucks, Mako or Danaher, basically, who owns us, said we already have one tool truck company. We're not going to have two, kind of, and
we're also not going to make them blue.
Yeah, and we sold them off, and so Gear Wrench. That's why. Remember that Nick guy?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of.
I see his videos like every day, and I just don't watch them. I just I got to be in the mood. I just don't want to hear the shit. It's like if John was on coke or something. If he was like blasted out of his mind on some kind of psychedelic and doing videos, you have to be like, oh my God, this guy, what the hell's with him? That's this guy Nick is like from Jersey Discount Tools. Everything is like slamming stuff on his thing is to slam stuff down on the bench as he's talking. And here's a deal, and here's a deal. Like, shut up. Like, come on, dude. Calm it down a little. It's like, woo.
Yeah, he's a character. He's interesting.
I don't watch that.
He's opinionated. He's got his, he moves a lot of product. I see his stuff on I follow social media. He's always getting good deals on stuff, and he moves a lot of stuff.
He's a nickels on a dollar.
Yeah, he gets it in, gets it out, makes his money, does deals with volume, and that's a good business model. It works.
Hustle.
Yeah, I respect the guy for that. That's, but it's like, wow, man, this guy's intense. I like the Matco Man way of doing business.
Like the guy that used to do the Crazy Eddie commercials.
Yeah, Jerry Carroll.
Crazy.
Insane.
Crazy Eddie and Battling Barry.
Battling Barry's House of Stereos, right?
Yeah, I remember that one.
There was a story about Jerry Carroll, how he got into that shtick. I don't remember what it was. Chris would know. Chris is a big radio air check guy, and he still listens to Harry Harrison air checks. That's what he does in his spare time, listens to old air checks.
Harry Harrison, oh my God.
Yeah, and Ron Lundy. So he would probably know this. He'd probably remember the history behind
Cousin Brucey.
Cousin Brucey, right. You know what? Down at the UD, every Saturday night, he's like radar. He's like, oh, wait a minute. He'll turn his satellite radio on and boom. It's, Cousin Brucey's on. Cousin Brucey.
I remember when Cousin Brucey used to do ads on the radio for E. Vincent luggage.
E. Vincent. Right.
Oh my God.
Chris sent me that Pontiac clip that I played on Sunday.
Yeah.
Listen, right at the end, it was a wait, who was it? I don't think it was an Ingram. It might not matter. It was the DJ. You hear the DJ's voice. It was I think it was Harry Harrison. He did it. It was live off one of his shows in '65. So
wow,
he listened to it and he clipped it for me.
Cool.
Yeah, good stuff.
You didn't think I was going to make that bucket, huh? That's 2 points, pal.
Nice.
I got a 5-gallon bucket I use for garbage about 8 feet away, and I tossed something and it went nothing but net straight into the dog. Looked and went,
Nice.
really? I could
Nice.
do it just like you do.
Yeah.
It's amazing the way he catches stuff.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh God, the mouth-eye coordination on this dog is insane.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
You know, you throw the ball, you like Barb will bounce the ball off the wall. You know, like hit the floor, hit the wall, and then come back, and he jumps up, just snatches it.
We had.
If I'm in the kitchen making a sandwich, he's right there.
Yeah.
Wanting some of the cold cuts, and you just flip it, and he's like,
Yeah.
catches it midair. I'm like, wow.
The cicada cricket cat we had. We used to have these little Super Bowls. You'd buy them in the supermarket. They had them in like the gum, and it was only like maybe a half-inch round ball, but they were like Super Bowl. And we'd bounce them around the kitchen like bing, 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 ricochet rabbit, and the cat would like track it, and then just like you never know when she was going to grab it, but she would get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty freaking good.
Yeah, this one, when you're like throwing the ball, he loves for you to just throw the ball to the other end of the room. He'll run after it, grab it, bring it back. But when you've got that ball in your hand, you can see the focus.
Yeah.
And if you move the ball, he moves with it.
Right.
It's like computer animation with this guy.
Yeah.
You know, he's like,
It's like Terminator.
yeah. It's insane.
Yeah.
He
It's crazy when
concentrates. It's the concentration is like so high. I mean, it's just unbelievable. I'm like,
What else
wow,
does he
this
have to do,
dog's
right?
phenomenal. Yeah, well, it's in the
It's
breed.
like-
You know, it's you know they chase animals.
What breed is that dog, John?
It's a Australian Shepherd,
Oh, okay.
which I come to find out has nothing to do with Australia.
Really?
I looked
Huh.
it up.
Right.
There was something on TV that had to do with Australia. And I'm like, I wonder where these shepherds come from. And Barb goes, they don't come from Australia. I'm like, what? I looked it up. I don't know where the breed came from, but it's got nothing to do with Australia.
Wow.
They're not Australian farming dogs. They're
Speaking of southern places, it's been all over the news up here, that freaking condo collapse in Miami.
yes, what a mess.
You know, we
See,
saw
but now they got all these people coming on, and
Yeah.
all the information's coming out.
contractors.
Contractors saying, well, you know, we've been doing surveys over the last couple of years. The land here is dropping at
Yeah.
a very rapid rate,
Yeah.
you know, so that building fell in. Basically, it's a sinkhole.
It was funny because this morning on the news, we just saw the after picture, but now tonight I saw the video of how
Of
much
it
of it
actually,
really,
yeah,
You know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of the federal building with Timothy McVeigh, you know, out.
yes,
That's what it reminded me of.
unbelievable, right? It's
Well,
crazy.
that's we had the day before. We had a bridge collapse.
Yes,
Oh.
I saw that guy with the cement truck. Today he claims he came from the yard and he forgot to tuck something in, and he hit
Yeah.
the bridge.
Hit the bridge.
Knocked
Yeah,
it down, yeah.
that's what they said. They said that's what they were saying the day before or after it happened, that they figured that the truck hit the bridge, and it was a pedestrian walk crossover of the part of the Beltway or 295, and that collapsed, and that's been a real mess. That's been a hell of a mess. It's not, but now, of course, they now that COVID's over or getting back to normal. I guess I count my blessings because the DOT guy's been living out here on the street, and now they pulled the DOT records on that truck, and it has been, flagged for the last 2 years.
Yeah.
They'll be all over every truck down here like hornets.
Right.
So
Crazy.
So they say here Australian Shepherds come from the West Coast, is where they were bred by shepherds that originally were in Australia. But the breed is an American dog.
Okay.
And they
Alright.
just call it the Australian Shepherd.
Well, hey, You know,
You gotta sell.
you get bragging rights on naming it, right?
Yeah, I guess you do, right?
Sure.
Pretty wild. But he's a good dog.
That's good. That's good.
Doesn't listen to me much when she's home. But now I'm the only one. Oh, you're my best friend.
Yeah. Yeah. Our dog was like that too. We had a little Yorkie, and man, the girls, he was theirs, you know, and he didn't want to know from me. But when I was alone with him, yeah, please.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. I mean, he treats me good, but he doesn't always listen.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, I'll try to get him. Like, if I'm doing the deal where I'm throwing the ball, he'll come right up at you, and he's got the ball in his mouth, and I'm like, drop it. You know, or I try to pull on it, and he's like chewing. And you can right, he won't let go, or he'll open up his mouth to get a better grip on it.
Right.
And I'm and we have like 2 words for him. It's either switch or drop it. And I'm like, come on, drop it, switch. And he won't do it. And Barb would be like, drop it. Falls right out of his mouth. So he
and you
listens
drop
to
it over your
her.
holding too. Just
Yeah.
All right.
He listens to her. He doesn't listen to me, except if we're alone.
Yeah.
Then he's my best bud.
Yep.
No, not my girl Lulu. Lucy. It drives my wife absolutely insane. She brings this dog home, and I become its person. And man, she gets all worked up. That dog. But look at my girl. Yes, you're a pretty girl. And she's a talker. She'll sit there. I come home, and as soon as I walk in the door, it's I said, man, she's trying to tell me you did something that you weren't supposed to do.
Right. Ratting her out.
Yeah.
Yo. Yeah. Hey, get up. He's sleeping again. He's comfortable.
All right, guys. I got a lot to do.
You gonna go drive and pick up that tool cart or what?
No, actually, John is going to drop it off to it's a pretty dog. Look at you.
Hey,
Oh,
They call it tricolor.
He's going to drop it off with one of the guys that I share the warehouse with. He just dropped it off at his house, and he'll bring it down, and I'll have to go out to the warehouse and pick it up.
Good.
So it's the only. I mean, if I go get it, I mean, I had to put it together. So tomorrow's going to be a little bit of a hectic getting it.
Right.
But I've been waiting. Shit, 6 weeks.
Wow.
This guy he called me today and says, dude, I want to buy this thing from you, man. If you don't bring me one, I'm going to have to get one from the Snap-on guy. And I'm like,
Uh-oh. He's taunting you.
well, I don't think Snap-on guy has one either, because it's been this long and one hasn't shown up yet.
Right.
But so I just put the word out, and somebody, other guys, like I said he had one.
Right.
Cool.
So it's crazy how hard you got to work to make $1.
Yeah, that's why they call it work.
Yeah. So
All right, I'll get an update from this guy. I'll let you know what happens.
yeah, just let me know. And like I said, what's today? Thursday? I don't know. You get UPS on Saturday?
Yeah, I think they even drop on Sundays now.
Oh, really? Yeah, you should see it. I don't have the track. I'd give you the track. I don't have the tracking number with me.
That's all right.
But you'll see it in a couple days.
All right.
And I'll start your next pile, Ray.
Yeah, just start the next pile.
Man, I tell you, this thing, if I could cram it, where's that USB port, man? I'd cram that thing in there. I knew that was going to show up.
Of course. It is.
It's all right.
It's all right. All right, guys. Well,
Okay.
All right.
for Lewis Lee's Playing in Traffic, Ray Guarino, Matt Man Brian, Chassis John down in Florida, we're going to be signing off, and we'll do this again next week. And
We're out of here.
Tune in Sunday and listen to Dan from Phantom Works. Hopefully he remembers to call, but I'll call him and remind him.
Yeah, hopefully. It'll be good to hear.